And hello and welcome. Good evening, everyone, to a celebration, a tribute to all Canadians uh, for Happy Queen Victoria Day. And with me today is my fellow brother and Canadian over there in British Columbia, Mr. PvP. How you doing, PvP?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I once again I frittered away too much time this weekend. I'm so awful at that, and I keep thinking, what I need? I need to get a good woman that'll slap me in the ass and cook me food and say, "Get off that lazy ass and do something, you sob." But I don't have that.
Yeah, and we do have couple chats to get through here real quick.
Oh wow, that's
Uh,
fast. Jeez.
yeah, very quick. So I said Happy Queen Victoria Day to all Canadians and our friends who are also non-Canadians, because they do have Memorial Day weekend that goes on, and their Memorial Day for all the armed forces around the world is on Monday next week.
That's 1 week from today.
Yeah, 26. Yeah.
Yep.
And then also there is Sci-Fi Sif Dad who said God save the Queen. Okay, Sif Dad, it's actually God save the King. I was told this when King Charles the Third came into power after his mother died.
Well,
Who was yeah.
I think he's referring to Queen Victoria, though, Mikey.
Oh, maybe he is. Okay.
You
Well,
know,
thank you, Sif Dad.
or he could be making a reference to the Sex Pistols.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
But you know what? I
we're,
don't even think he knows the Sex Pistols. You and I do. I don't think that
I,
Dan knows them.
I love that song. Actually, I love their one and only proper studio album. I think it's a punk classic, and you know, the weird thing was when it came out, probably nobody even noticed they existed. Well, in Britain they did because remember when they had that was like the number one song. It would have been if BBC hadn't banned it, and they wouldn't let it on the charts. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
It
Well,
sold
I
so many
actually have the
copies.
song.
It would have been number one, but the
Yeah.
authorities were so intimidated by this is crazy. They were so intimidated by a band in 1977 that they wouldn't let a song get on the top 40. Like that is really weird in my opinion.
Yeah, totally weird. I did say hello to Dan. I also said we'll start in a few minutes. And here is Daniel's Hot Topics. Happy Queen Victoria Day. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you being here. Also, Jeff B saying, hail, hail, Mikey, PvP, and all. Thank
Hey,
you,
Jeff.
Jeff B.
Hey there.
And we also have Roger Blair. Hello, Roger Blair.
Hey,
Howdy,
Roger.
Mikey, and everyone.
Hey,
Yes,
guys.
very good to see you
Hmm.
guys. Yeah,
Oh,
so cool.
by the way, I put a Wikipedia link in the private chat if you want to. I guess it'd be okay to put the wiki of Queen Victoria because you could see how hideously ugly she actually was.
Yeah,
Queen
and
Victoria was not good looking. I'll tell you that right now. Like,
it,
whoa, that
exactly
she had a face that could could stop a truck. Let's put it that way.
right. And Jeff B says Canada has no king or queen, just the governor, number 50.
Well, the official thing is the Governor General. The Governor
Oh, my
General in Governor General is the monarch's representative in Canada as far as government, right?
right.
So it is. Trouble is, a lot of the Governor Generals are crappy. So they make bad decisions, and I wouldn't mind if they abolished the monarchy. To be quite honest, I don't want to sound like one of those anti what is it anti-traditional people, but I don't think the monarchy really serves much of a purpose anymore.
Yeah. Okay,
Isn't she?
well,
Is she?
actually, yeah. Actually, I'm going to share the screen here real quick. This
Is she?
is Queen Victoria.
Yeah,
This is the day that we're celebrating. This is her picture there.
yeah.
Uh,
She's
we,
she
I just
she's
yeah, go
not a
ahead.
is she a ravishing beauty or what?
Not really, but anyway, she's actually known as Alexandrina Victoria. She ruled from May 24th, 1819 to January 22nd, 1901, and she was a queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland from 20 June 1837 until her death in 1901. So she lived to be, if I'm doing my math right, 92 years old, I guess, or 91. She died at the age of 91.
Well, the thing is why Queen Victoria is kind of still of a legendary. Up until Elizabeth passed away, like what, I don't know how much, like what, 10 years ago or whatever. Now,
Something like that. Yeah.
Queen Victoria was the longest reigning monarch in British history up until Elizabeth, and Elizabeth actually ended up, surpassing her eventually, right? But
Yes, that's true.
she was by far the longest living monarch for many, 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 many decades, right? So
Yeah.
that's why she's
Yeah.
kind of, the weird fun fact is though, England, the United Kingdom doesn't have this holiday.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That
Only
is,
Canada does.
yeah, only Canada. I'm like, why does Canada honor Queen Victoria on this day and the United Kingdom totally ignores it? Like, is that not
You know what?
kind of bizarre?
You know what? That's still an eternal mystery to me because I never understood why. I mean, don't get me wrong. Queen Victoria was a great monarch. It says here she was, reigned for 63 years and 216 days, which was, it says here, longer than those of any of her predecessors. Like you said, it constituted the Victorian era, a period of Renaissance and things that were going on until, Elizabeth came. So, it's just quite fascinating. Really is.
I find it very interesting. And by the way, side note, my grandparents were the last Victorians because they were born in the 1890s when she was actually still the monarch. That's how old I am. Actually have a couple of on my mother's side. Her mom and dad were actually born in the early 1890s, like 1891 or something. And I've probably told the story before that my granddad on mom's side actually fought in the trenches in France during the First World War. That's how far my history goes back. But yeah, it's like they were the last of the Victorian age, like the last, pretty much the last decade, because she died in 1901, right? So,
right.
But I find it fascinating that I actually have ancestry that goes back to the Victorian age because I bet I'd be willing to bet $1. Not too many people on here do.
Right. Well, as it said there, she lived for 91 years, or 90 years. But of that 90 years, she was in power until she passed away for 54 of those years. So she started at a very young age.
Yeah. What was Elizabeth? Did Elizabeth do like 60 years or something? I can't remember now, actually.
Are you talking about Queen Elizabeth I or the second?
Well, the one that just croaked like 10 years ago.
That was the second. So
yeah, I guess it was Elizabeth II. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the thing is, I remember with Elizabeth, the only reason she got to be the monarch was, what was her father? Was it Charles I or something? I can't remember.
Well, it says here that Queen Elizabeth II, known as Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, was born on April 21st, 1926, and died September 8th, 2022. And she was Queen of the United Kingdom and other Commonwealth realms from 6 February 1952 until her death in 2022. So she was a reigning monarch for 70 years and 214 days. She is now the longest serving monarch in British history, and she was the head of state for 15 realms at the time of her death.
Yeah, she set the she beat Queen Victoria by a mile at the end there for sure.
A long time. Yes.
And what was her? Can you find her father on there? Does it mention her father?
Yeah. Let me take a look. Who was
Because I remember her father was, I think, the monarch during the WW2 years, and he was actually probably a really good king. He seems to have been a really good king. No controversies really.
Yeah, her father was Prince George, King George the Sixth.
Oh, King George. Yeah, right. We used to have him on our coins here back then, believe it or not. I even used to find the occasional coinage with his image on it, but that's been like many decades since I found one of those in my pocket change. But
Right.
he was actually seemed like a really good, honorable, serving monarch. But then he got ill. I can't remember what he died from, but he basically got ill and passed away. And Elizabeth, I believe, was still a teenager when the crown got passed on to her.
Correct. And
So she
George
was
Sixth
young.
was also, yeah, this was also something I didn't realize, that he was also the last emperor, British emperor of India from 1936 until
That
he
could
stopped.
be. Yeah, I guess
Until he died.
I guess that did. I guess that was a thing back then. Yeah.
Yeah, so King George the Sixth was her father. Yeah. So
No, I'm just
yeah,
wondering,
good deal.
is India still a Commonwealth country, or do they have total independence now?
They gained independence in 1947. Remember with the India-Pakistan War, the partition?
So they have no association with the United Kingdom anymore then?
Not anymore. No,
Hmm.
the India is totally democratic and on its own, and so is Pakistan. So
Interesting, because I guess we're kind of in the middle then, because we're not directly ruled anymore by the
yeah,
crown. Because I remember Trudeau won back in 1980 or 81. The
right,
Queen Elizabeth came over here, and I remember they did that. They had that a signing, which was a big deal because I think they even showed it on the TV. And
yeah,
she basically signed the Constitution over to us because before that, the Constitution was held over in Britain, right? Our Constitution.
right.
So it
And
was
welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, PvP.
hey,
Welcome, Sir Lemon Pie. He says, "Hello, Canada fruitcakes."
yeah, I was just gonna say that was when they signed that document back in 80, 81 or whatever it was. That was the repatriation of our Constitution to Canada.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it no longer resided because it used to reside in the United Kingdom, the actual paper or whatever, and then it got
But
repatriated.
now it's in Ottawa. Now it's in Canada.
Well, the document got transferred to Canada at that point, I guess.
To
Yeah.
Ottawa's Parliament. Okay, cool. So it's actually in the capital of Canada now.
I would
Ottawa
think
is what
so. I
you're
mean,
saying.
I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I would think so.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want to talk about politics too much either.
I don't either. Like, I don't want to talk about Queen Victoria all night because this is going to get pretty stale.
Yeah, no, I understand.
If you
But
want to talk about, like,
yeah, but uh, well, one last thing. Let me check to see when did Canadians start celebrating. I can ask that question and see when they started to celebrate. Let's see. When did Canada?
Victoria Day, yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
been a while.
Victoria Day. Yeah, let me see here.
Probably maybe in the 50s or something, I'm guessing. Like,
I'm guessing too, but let's see here. Okay, so when did Canada celebrate Victoria Day? Or first celebrate, I should say. Yeah, first celebrate. Okay.
hmm.
Let's see here. Question mark. All right. Wow. Okay. Victoria Day was established as a holiday in the province of Canada in 1845, and then it became a national holiday in 1901, and it is observed on the first Monday before May 25th during the reign of Queen Victoria.
Huh.
They said that May 24th was the Queen's birthday, and that's when it became declared a holiday in Canada. And after she died in 1901, an act of the Canadian Parliament established Victoria Day as a legal holiday to be celebrated. So in this
Mm,
case, it's May 19th, but officially it's supposed to be celebrated May 24th, preceding the May 25th, well, in this case, the 26th, which is Memorial Day for the United States. So,
interesting. That
yeah,
first date, that was Canada wasn't even a nation back in what 1849. You said
1845.
Because we didn't have a Dominion until 1867 was when Canada was born.
Yeah, so this actually means that the holiday it's oh my god, wow. The holiday itself is 180 years old.
It's pretty crazy when you think about it, right? It really is. It's like, whoa.
Even so, you guys here in Canada, but so I've only been celebrating since so like I said, I moved here in 2017. So officially 2018, I've only been celebrating it now for 7 years officially. But you've had it in place for 180 years. That's just insane.
Well,
That
this is one thing that bothers me when people say, "Oh, Canada doesn't have a history." It's like, really?
really?
Let's put it this way:
It
Canada.
has a history.
Nobody probably realizes that Canada has a longer history than Italy does.
By the way, speaking of history or speaking of parting, if you can barely hear it, but in the background over here outside, they're shooting fireworks.
You got no fireworks here yet. You know, our city is really cheap, although they didn't even have fireworks much at New Year's, so I'm not expecting to hear much. But you realize modern day Italy didn't exist, was not as old as Canada is.
Right.
No,
Well,
you look at
yeah, I'm
you
sorry.
look at. I'm just going to say, you look at the history of Italy. It was nothing. Italy was nothing but a collection of city states that were at constant war with each other. And
Greece was the same way. Greece was the same way.
yeah, modern Italy has only existed like maybe 100 years or something.
Something like that.
So people say, "Oh, Canada doesn't have a history." Well, neither does Italy. If you're going to look at it that way, guys, you know.
Canada does have a history. Lemon says, "Happy Victoria Day to Mikey and PvP." Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff
you,
B says, "Victoria Day is celebrated on or about 1845." Okay, it was first celebrated in 1845, but it didn't become a Canadian national holiday until Queen Victoria's death in 1901, is what I read. So.
Canada didn't exist in 1845. That was like
Correct.
the province, but not the country. And by the way, Jeff B, we do not say a boot. I'm 67. I've never heard one single person in this country say a boot. Nobody says a boot. We say about, just like other people do. Damn it.
Well,
I'm really tired of that.
I read it the way I did because I don't like to make fun of Jeff B. Because Jeff B's cool.
No. I'm not trying to criticize Jeff. I'm just saying that's not an actual fact in Canada.
And he's laughing.
It's not like every time I see another Canadian, I go, "How's it going, eh?"
Eh?
We don't say that all the time. It's like, come on.
Well, you remember that movie? This is one of my favorite movies, is Fargo. And if you remember Frances McDormand, who was playing the pregnant, by the way, female sheriff, and she goes, "Yeah, how's it going, eh?" You know, and all this stuff. You know, she was, "Oh, I betcha, yeah." You know, she was doing all that stuff. Yeah.
I thought, wasn't that in North Dakota or something? No, I didn't think it was in Canada.
Oh, was it Fargo, Minnesota? I thought it was North Dakota, but
North Dakota, yeah.
Yeah, Fargo, North Dakota.
Okay.
Because I'll bet you, yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in ages, but yeah, somehow in my brain cells.
There's Gorilla.
I can't believe the memory I have, though. You know, somebody will trigger something and I'll remember something from like 60 years ago, which is really scary, actually.
Yeah.
But I don't get why they would be saying. I mean, I guess North Dakota is close to the border, but I don't know why.
Well, so is Gorilla. Gorilla's pretty close.
Yeah. Hey, Gorilla. Hey, Gorilla, why don't you get your furry ass up on the panel here?
He says Kapla. Welcome, Gorilla. Jeff says Kapla to Gorilla. And of course, hosers.
Oh, okay, hosers. Now that okay, I got to take a look on YouTube for hosers.
Okay. Yeah, Gorilla, I sent you a link to the StreamYard here through your Facebook Messenger, sir. So if you get a chance, yeah, come on up and join us Canadians, since I know you're pretty close to the border yourself. Yeah. And Gorilla says, yeah, Fargo is a border town. The good part is it's in Minnesota. Oh, okay, it is Minnesota. The ghetto is in North Dakota. Ah, that's North Dakota. Okay, so there's a ghetto area in North Dakota and a border town in Minnesota called Fargo. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
so
hey.
so it's in Gorilla's home state then. So I can officially call Gorilla. Gorilla. I'm making you an honorary hoser. Do you like that? I made him an honorary Canadian a while back, and it took him a long time to accept it, but eventually he embraced. Eventually, he embraced it, and now he needs to embrace the honorary hoser status. By the way, I did put it in the private chat. There's the origins of the word hoser. It's like a minute and a half long or something. So,
okay, cool.
It was Minnesota.
It was Minnesota? Okay, thank you. So Suzanne confirmed that it was supposed to be Fargo, Minnesota, that they were talking about in the movie Fargo. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That makes more sense. Gorilla says furry ass, huh? Sounds like you want to see it, PvP.
Well, hey, get up here with your camera, Gorilla, and show it off.
Yeah, right. Show off your bum if you want to. He says, "Isn't Queen Victory?" No, it's Queen Victoria, Gorilla. Come on, you live near the border. You should know this by now. You should know our history. Well, their history. I'm still learning about the Canadian history. Isn't Queen Victoria the one who had a train run on her? Well, she wore a train when she was elected as by the monarchy as the queen. She had a big long train about, so long. But she looked like a haggard monster. I mean, we just saw a portrait of her, one of the last known portraits she had before she passed, and she didn't look too good. I gotta say.
I don't think Queen Victoria would have won any beauty contest, to be honest.
No, definitely not. But anyway, as it said there in the description, they started celebrating the national holiday. So actually, the national holiday itself is 124 years old, and next year it'll be 125. So that's pretty cool. And Lemon says, "See my Fargo playlist for accurate, not really, depiction of life in Fargo." Oh, okay. I didn't even know you had one there, Lemon. And welcome, Brad Wolf 07. Hi, Mikey. Hi, everyone. Welcome, Brad.
Hello, Brad.
Wonderful to see you, sir. And Gorilla says, didn't she have like 200 lovers? I can't confirm that. I don't know, Gorilla.
I have no idea, but I guess there was no shortage of blind men back in England then.
There you go, baby. Yep. Lots of blind men there for sure.
I love it when somebody sets me up because my mind just goes to the weird place and if I was like 40 years younger, I might even think about a career in comedy or something, because some days I think, damn, why didn't I do that? Because
we have to really be laughing on your streams. Make that a point, PvP, that we should be laughing our asses off on your streams.
I shall. Well, if you feed me the one-liners, I'll probably do
that. Okay. One-liners. That's what she said. Anyway, Levin says, "Hi, Gorilla, Brad Wolf." And Brad Wolf says, "Just popping in to say hello and see how everyone is doing." Well, we seem to be doing okay, Brad Wolf. There's some, supposed fireworks going out to celebrate the holiday today. Probably some kids that are going, "Yay, I'm out of school for about approximately 6 more hours. Then I got to go back tomorrow." Damn it.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Really. Brad Wolf says, "Hi, Lemon Pie." Gorilla says, "Hey, Jeff. Hey, Scurvy. Hey, Brad." And Jeff B says, he's laughing. "Gorilla, they don't get American slang." Well, I get American slang because I came from there originally, Jeff B, from America. Okay. But PvP's got his own kind of slang. That's what Canadians have. They have their own kind of slang, eh? Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. Brad Wolf says, thank you, Mikey. Thank you all for the warm welcome. You're very welcome, Brad Wolf. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. He says, hi, Gorilla. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and share this real quick. Let's see here. And let's see, Lemon Pie says, if you're the queen, maybe it gets you action. Well, there's no queen there now. It's just King Charles III. But I think he gets enough action with his mistress. The one that they call a lady in waiting, but they're not going to make her queen. So, Camilla Parker Bowles is not going to become queen of the country if something happens to Charles.
You know what I find amazing about Charles is
Yeah.
he had 2 kids with
Lady Diana, I know.
Lady
Beautiful.
Diana, and then after she passes away, he says, "Hey, I had one of the most beautiful women in the world, so why don't I just marry the horse face and go out with her?"
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, Charles, what the hell are you thinking, man? You had like a 10 out of 10, and now you're going for like a 4 out of 10. Like, seriously, buddy.
Yeah, right. And Brad says to you, well, you read this. Go ahead, BBB.
I think you can be quite witty. Well, thank you, Brad. I really appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah,
Sincerely.
he really means that. And also, here's what you can also do, PvP, to help your cause when you do StreamYard. This is what we call our referral link. So it's new to streaming or looking to level up. You can check out StreamYard, get a $10 discount off your plan that you set up for. And also, if you do the free plan and you get the 6 people that it allows up to the top there, you'll still have that $10 discount in holding for you. So then when you do decide to upgrade, you can immediately apply that $10 discount and it will take it right off the top of your the billing they do for, where you can allow up to 10 people and you get unlimited. So this is the StreamYard link there. So if any of you get a chance and you want to start a new channel, follow that link, go there, refer that Mikey Seuss 4 or Gorilla's Censored Thoughts, or when PvP gets started, any of us that are YouTube creators, and you get $10 off your planned, plan that you start. So I just want to make sure I mention that. But yeah, it does help. And Lemon says tampon. Why'd you say tampon?
Tampon? Okay,
Tampon?
I have to ask. I do have the free plan already. Do I have to cancel that to get that set up?
No. You don't need to cancel it. But if you were to upgrade PvP, instead of the free plan, but you go to the paying plan per month, you get automatically that $10 off that paying plan, I believe. So yes.
Oh, if I sign up for the paid one, okay.
If you sign for the pay one, yes. But that $10 discount will be still held for you. So it will still be in their in their information and stuff. Since you signed up for StreamYard. So Brad says, honestly, I'm still upset about Princess Diana's treatment. Charles done goofed up there, keeping it PG. Well, thank you for keeping it PG, Brad. But yes, you're right. He did mess up. Charles finally gets a job in his 70s. A joke I heard around his coronation. Oh, yeah. He finally got a job? Wow. Yeah. He didn't have to do much before that, And then he has to wait until, his mother passes away and, 3 years ago. And he says, oh, okay, now I'm in charge. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Tony. Oh, I see. Tony has a whole running gag about StreamYard failing on him and Pulp Fiction. Oh, okay. You mean Tony Stark of Iron, maybe? Lemon? Sir Lemon, maybe? Yeah, well, don't blame him. Anyway, he can fail sometimes. It happens. It's just like anything. By the way, there was reports of heavy tornado activity in parts of Missouri and Kentucky, and I think Tennessee was the other place. Anyway, there's a number of people that did die from these crazy, tornadoes that blasted through. Uh, yeah, Stark of Iron. Yes, okay. Uh, did he avoid those tornadoes, Lemon Pie? You seem to know him better than I do. I stopped knowing him after a while. So, but yeah. And then Brad says, okay, sorry, but I have to go. I'm happy I could catch some of your stream. Well, thank you, Brad Wolf. Like I said, you're always welcome. If you ever want to join panel, let me know. We'll get you set up and come on up here and talk with us. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much. You have a great night, Brad. Lemon says, yeah, actually, I'm wondering if he's okay. Yeah, well, he may be an enemy to me, but I am kind of wondering if he's okay, because some of the tornadoes that hit was close to him there in Louisville. Yeah. So I hope he's all right. Anyway, Brad Wolf says, have a great night, day, everyone. Until next time, Brad Wolf away. That's cute. Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Lemon says, yeah, I'll have to ask some of his closer buddies. Yeah. The ones that still hate my guts. Oh, well. Can't have everything, Can't have everything you want. You got to please yourself. That's what Rick Nelson said. Anyway, okay, cool. So we got some of the Canadian stuff there. Cool. I will check that out later, PvP. Thank you for leaving me with those. What I do is I recopy them, I put them into my Facebook Messenger, and then I watch from there. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. Let's see. What else is going on? Okay. So something I told Larry, Alan Jackson, who has, propped me up beside the jukebox, and stuff like that. Well, he is finally retiring. And so, I mean, that's a pretty big deal to most country music fans that really, Alan Jackson was one of the originals that came up after Cash and so on, and Willie Nelson and that bunch there. And, Alan Jackson is well known. And now that he's retiring, I mean, what's going to happen to the face of country? There still isn't really good, country music out there. And we have the hip hop people to blame for that, trying to make a niche into the country music genre, which is not a good thing.
Are you're what hip hop country music? That's nuts.
I know, but that's what they're trying to do.
That's nuts. Okay,
I know.
Last summer when I went to Vancouver and saw the Damned live in concert, which is one of the top 10 concerts of my lifetime. They were fabulous, all pushing 70, and they looked great. They were still slim, trim, powerful. They kicked ass.
Yeah.
They played all their hits, a lot of their great songs for like almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Absolute kick-ass concert. And I think the drummer Rat Scabies was like 2 months away from like being 70, right? So these boys were still putting it out there. And I went to the football game the next day with my cousin because he wanted to go see the BC Lions opening game, right?
Yeah.
Guess who the halftime show was?
The Damned?
No, it was 50 Cent.
Wow. Oh, 50 Cent? Oh.
Yeah, so we basically got there. I guess we kind of got there halfway through the game, and we were waiting for our friend Larry because Larry he's a legend for showing up like an hour late, right? That's Larry, and of course he did again this time because the SkyTrain he took got delayed or some excuse, right? And he's the great thing was Larry had this. He had a white beard bigger than yours, Mikey.
He did? Whoa.
Well, I say about double the size. And he said, "Oh, I started growing this in 2020 during the, I won't mention it, situation." Right. We don't even recognize him first, and we're sitting on the like the park bench, my cousin and I, and we're sitting there. Well, we're enjoying the weather because it's a beautiful sunny day. And my cousin Mark, he goes, "Hey, is that Larry?" I'm like, "Where?" You know, he's like, "That guy with the beard. Is that Larry?" I'm like, "I don't. Gosh, I can't tell." And of course, it was Larry. So we're all, having
But
a
it
great
was
time.
him, right? But it was him.
It was him. And then we get by. See, one thing we didn't go earlier because there was a huge lineup of people trying to get in, right?
Right.
So we just sat and waited our time. And then by the time Larry got there, we walked up because there's only like 20 people in the lineup then, so it was great.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get in, and my cousin, who has probably one of the worst bladders on planet Earth, it's like he has to take a leak every hour. We get in there, and of course he's got to go to the washroom, right? So I'm like, okay, no worries, I'll just stand here and twiddle my thumb. And of course they have the giant, screen, the TV screen on the wall, right? And it's playing 50 Cent doing his live show. So I'm just standing there waiting for Mark and Larry to get out of the can, and he's going through his concert motions, and he's doing his repetitive rap stuff that doesn't make any bloody sense at all. He's got a couple of guys next to him, with lots of jewelry around their neck, jumping around like idiots. And then, of course, he's got like half a dozen girls, pretty much naked, twerking their butts in the camera through the whole damn thing. And it's just like repetitive, boring. I'm watching this for like 10 minutes while I'm waiting for my guys to come out so we can go watch the second half of the football game.
Right.
And I'm like, man, is this really what culture has become in my lifetime? Like,
it's gone to hell. It's gone to hell already.
Hell in a handbag,
I
man.
hope I'm not following hell in a handbasket.
It was horrendous. I was sitting there listening to the lyrics, and they were like, what the hell is he talking about? It doesn't even mean anything. It's like, Jesus, man.
Well, let me go ahead and catch up on the chat, because actually I'll let you read
Please
two
do.
things in a row. Lemon's got a couple of things he
I'm
said
sure
to you.
chat will be 100 times better than rap music. So yeah, go for it.
No, I would say so. Lemon says, yeah, Tony's okay. He's got an upcoming stream and he's chatting in it. Okay, fine. He lived. All right. That's all right. And Lemon's asking me, why are you guys enemies? I mean, you don't need to go into it if you don't want. I'm only going to say a couple of things real quickly, Lemon, okay? First of all, he told me that in order for him to help my channel out, I had to sacrifice two of my friends. And secondly, you don't use my friends as bargaining chips. So go F yourself, okay, Tony? That's all I'm going to say. And that's why we're enemies. Because he asked two of my friends to go away from me completely so that he said he would try to help me. That's bullshit. You don't do that to me. You don't use my friends as bargaining chips. So if that's the explanation you wanted, Lemon, there's the explanation for you. And he's blocked anyway, so it doesn't matter. He can't come back and retaliate. So, okay, PvP, you go ahead and read this first one.
Lemon Pie said, PvP doesn't have enemies. They seem to disappear. Okay. Oh, Lemon, that's so good. That's a total mirror reference where I have the Tantalus field in my room, right?
Yep. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
love it. Lemon, you get an A+ for that comment. In fact, I'm not going to give him an A+. I'm going to give him a gold star for that. Okay.
Oh, there you go. And you want to read this one?
PvP loves Candy Shop. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about there, Lemon.
That's a famous song by 50 Cent called Candy Shop. His real name is 50 Cent's real name, by the way, is Curtis Jackson. You know why I know this? Because he's been in a few movies and he uses his real name. He doesn't use 50 Cent.
I'd have more respect for him if he just used his real name, to be honest.
Well, yeah, Curtis Jackson.
Because 50 cents. If I was 14 and I came up with that name, I'd say cool, but 50 cents sounds silly to me.
He's less than that when he sings.
He doesn't.
He's more like 25 cents. He's more 25 cents, if that.
But he doesn't sing, he raps, and there's a difference.
Right, and rapping is stupid. Totally stupid. Sorry. I'm not a big fan of rap at all.
I
Haven't really been most of my life,
Okay, there's several genres I don't like. One of them is opera because I don't like. Oh, it sounds like it sounds like somebody getting castrated, and like no, I don't want to hear that, right?
It sounds
So
like a screechy cat, I know.
it's
But there
horrible.
are some, okay, granted, but there are some operas that are actually pretty decent. Like, for example, like I've mentioned once before, I got to see La Traviata, which is a
Uh-huh,
wonderful Italian opera.
uh-huh,
Fantastic. And I mean, even though they're speaking in Italian, the tonal vocal ranges and everything is perfectly in tune, perfectly, you know, it's understandable. I mean, the words are understandable. So I love that opera. It's my favorite. Uh, okay,
Yeah,
so
well, if the singers are really talented and they were really good and they put on a good performance, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily hate it, but let's put it this way: I'm not buying tickets to it anytime soon. I do like classical music though. Like one of my favorite pieces is Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. I could listen to
yeah,
that every day of the week and love it because it's so good, right? So
the
there's
William Tell
classical.
overture is great. The Ride of the
Oh,
Valkyries is great. I mean,
there's lots of talented classical musicians so that I
def,
enjoy. I don't listen
definitely.
to them often, but I can. Let's put it this way: I'm weird. I could listen
You're
to.
not weird.
No, I'm
What?
very weird. That's why I'm so
You're
single. I'm too weird. Uh,
not.
I could listen to the 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky, and actually, I wish the copyright thing wasn't so heinous, right? Because
I know.
I'd love to do like an hour radio show, and I'd play 1812, and I'd follow it up with like God Save the Queen. That's
Yes.
how weird I am because I just love all kinds of music, right? And then
Oh, good.
I probably follow that up with a Johnny Cash song or some crazy shit, right? Because
Right.
that's me.
Right. And Lemon here says, I pick my own friends. No one tells me who my friends will be or not be. I'm with you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Lemon.
Lemon.
I appreciate you saying that.
By the way, I got to ask Lemon, where does he pick them? Like, how does he pick them? Okay, that's getting goofy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and Gorilla says, you forgot Bidenflation? Oh,
Huh?
Bidenflation. He's
What?
$1.50 now.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
He's calling it, instead of inflation, he's calling it Bidenflation. That means that 50 cent is worth $1.50 now. Okay.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
hear thanks to our beautiful government that grocery prices are going to rise soon. So
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Trump card.
yeah, yeah, I I was happy when Trump defeated the Democrats because I thought Harris would have been a steaming
Oh,
beef.
no. Kamala Harris, but you know what? I did some research afterwards and I realized that Kamala Harris would have been a total shit show. So
Yeah,
when it comes down again, here's the thing, lesser of two evils, the American public went with the lesser of two evils and said, oh, why not? Trump's got one more shot. Let's throw him in there. So,
that's the thing.
that's
I
it.
was thinking exactly the same thing the night I watched it on Gorilla's channel during the
Mhm.
November election, and we had a
Yeah.
great time that night. But when Trump interfered with the election here, saying he
Yes.
wanted Carney to win, I was so angry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think if Trump had kept his damn mouth shut, I'm sure we would have had a majority conservative government right now. And
Yeah.
they would have been turning the economy around 180 degrees in a couple years. We could firing on all cylinders. People would have had massive new jobs. Housing would have gone down. Inflation would have gone down. And yet we're stuck with 4 years. Well, Carney put
Mhm.
a book up. Carney wrote a book.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carney put
No,
a.
I was just pointing out to Suzanne that the fireworks were going off.
Okay,
Funny.
Carney's put out a book. I haven't read it, but it's all about that net zero carbon bullshit. And
It's sort of BS. I'm not even going to read it.
I
To be honest, I will not read it.
if I was enough of a patient person, I might read it. But I've listened to people that reviewed it, right, that have read it,
Hmm.
and well, it's like Jordan Peterson, right? I think he's a pretty smart guy. If you've
Right.
ever listened to his channel, and he did a review of
Most
the book,
was.
and he said,
Mhm.
like, okay, read the first and the last chapter because all the rest of it is basically
Drink.
filler. It's basically most of the book is filler that doesn't mean a damn thing, right? Uh, basically, though, Carney is all about net zero, which means getting rid of fossil fuels and going like with wind turbines and all that crazy shit. And he's going to make the liberals want to make cars. They want to put up the taxes on fossil fuel cars in like 15 years. They want to put the taxes up so high that nobody will be able to afford to buy one. So everybody will force to buy electric. But the thing is,
Right.
electric cars don't function in minus 40-degree weather.
True.
So we're Canada. We're not Florida, right? It's like, hey, Mark,
Yeah.
wake the
Yeah.
hell up. But it's just like these people are Looney Tunes. They really are.
Yeah. Well, let's try not to talk about them anymore.
Yeah, maybe we should switch to music or something more fun.
Music or something good. Yeah. Now, here, Lemon Pie says to me, I also consider Tony a friend, and I can be both, and neither of you have tried to stop me from association with the other. Well, that's good to know, Sir Lemon, because you're a better man than I when it comes to that you can make friends pretty easily and not have to worry about what one thinks of the other. So that's
Well,
pretty good to know, Sir Lemon.
Tony's not at the top of my list of people, but I have occasionally when he does his karaoke night. Remember that when everybody's singing? Usually, really, really god awfully bad too. I gotta say.
No, they're all bad.
I have gone on the occasional karaoke Tony stream, and he's been a very good host. I gotta say, he's been very kind and welcoming to me, and he's like, "Hey, PvP," and I've belted. I remember when I went on about a year ago, and I was belting out songs by the Damned, right? And I was like, "Wow, he's actually got karaoke Damned songs." So that was a lot of fun, actually. But yeah, I don't go on his streams too often.
Well, I mean, because if I'm not mistaken, Jill and Tony have been friends for a while. I think even Jill said that one of the first people that she looked up to was Tony when she first started out doing streaming of her own. I might be wrong on that score, but I think I'm right. I think I'm kind of correct on that.
Well, I think Tony has showed up on her streams occasionally, but I don't think he does very often. So
Right.
if there is a relationship there, I think it's a pretty loose one. I don't think it's very tight knit. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure, and I won't elaborate much more on it, but I will never understand the relationship between Jill and Scotty R37. I still will not understand it.
Well, that's why I left the stream on Saturday after 3.5 hours.
Right, which is why you told me. And Lemon says Jill looks up to everyone. She is 5'1". Yeah, she's a short girl. She is.
Now, don't get me started on how cute I think Jill is, because I will say bad.
Look at him.
I will say
Evil
bad
guy.
things that don't sound good, because I know she's a married woman with 2 kids, so I'm not going to say another word.
No, but Jill.
Jill's a cutie. Like, I mean, listen to that
Yes,
voice.
and she can be sweet.
I cannot fall in. I have to fall in love with Jill every time she talks, because she's got the cutest. I can't think of. I mean, I know other women that have very cute voices, but I think Jill she gets a gold star for a cute voice, because she has a cute voice.
Yeah. Well, so does Charlotte Nightstar the werewolf. She's a very cute person too.
Oh,
And I kind of look
yeah.
up to both her and Jill and Raquel and Moira, because they're well-spoken ladies. They know what they know what they want. They understand the difficulties it is to live as a woman in this kind of society dominated by many men. I totally concur. Suzanne Eckstein, same thing. She's a great lady who knows where her place is and knows what she needs to do to make it in this world and do better. and the other ladies I just mentioned, all of them do the same thing. They make this world a lot better place because of their attitude and how they are and how they treat people, and they do
Well,
treat them well.
that
So
is one positive thing in the community because there are a number of women on the community that actually contribute a lot to it. So you know
true, true.
that is definitely a bonus for sure.
It is, and it's always good to know some new ladies that come every once in a while, come visit us, and of course, I'm looking forward to talking to Miss Kayla. Yeah,
Well, Kayla was on the Terminator stream last night.
yeah, she was with us. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
and she didn't say a heck of a lot. She was just hanging in the background. But
Well, she's a little nervous because she's in a couple months, as Gorilla has said, she's going to move a little bit closer to where Gorilla is, and she's still nervous. I totally understand because you know considering how long, like I said, considering how long Suzanne and I have been together as a couple, which is now 15 years and still running, we both came from very difficult backgrounds. We both had terrible relationships with other people, and and we survived them. And uh, my parents adopted her right away as soon as my dad got to see her for the first time. And my mother said, she does exist. As she came off the airplane and through customs.
the
So, still a
weird thing
funny
was
moment.
somebody made that comment when we were watching Terminator last night that she does exist.
Yeah.
It was the same
Kayla
comment.
does exist.
The thing is, though,
Yeah,
it would have been nice if Kayla had chatted a little bit because, we're all friendly people and we'd like to get to know her. And if she felt comfortable with chatting, that would be great. But if she isn't, then that's fine too, right? But
sure. And Lemon, you are right. We have the best, coolest chicks in our community. Amen, brother. We
the
are
only
lucky son of a bitches.
the only problem is they're all taken, and I'm still a lonely bachelor. I keep
Yeah,
hoping. I keep
that's a hard thing to bear, BBB. It
Oh,
is.
I keep hoping one of these days there'll be a girl in the chat that'll hit it off with me, and she'll say, "Hey, I'm going to move to your area," just like like Gorilla got lucky there, like you
Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah, right. And hail to FKHC 2005, also known as Tim. Hello, Tim.
Yay! Hey, Tim.
And now we know what that kangaroo stands for. We know what the kangaroo
It
stands
was, it,
for
was,
now.
it was a football club, was it not, or something?
Yeah, it was a soccer club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, football. Well, they call it football. Um, Gorilla says PvP. Do we need to get you a $20 hooker?
Yes. Go ahead. If you can arrange that, Gorilla, just go ahead. Yes.
Oh my God, Gorilla!
I'm not gonna.
Gorilla,
I'm
why
not.
aren't you, Gorilla? I'm only going to be here for about another hour. Why
Get
don't you
up
come
here.
and join us?
Come
Get
on,
up here, you
Gorilla.
silverback.
You want to get
Jeez.
up? We need your American perspective to make fun of Queen Victoria. Come on,
Yeah,
get your ass up here.
there we go. We need your comedy, my friend. So yeah, get up here. Or do I have to put my foot in your butt?
Yeah,
You don't want my foot in your butt. You do not want
I think Gorilla needs another ass up his butt.
that. Jesus. LDG just pulled his golden plated
Well, I'm thinking maybe Gorilla's butt is
out of there.
maybe Gorilla's butt is lonely now, right?
Hockey. Oh, hockey. It wasn't soccer, it was hockey. Thank you, Gorilla. Yes,
Well,
hockey team.
I knew it was sports. I mean, Jesus,
It
I
was
don't remember
sport.
everything.
Yeah. Some of us aren't much into that.
I'm
But
not.
I love sports. I'm a
I'm,
sports fanatic though. Let's see. Lemon
ugh.
says under Biden, we didn't have cool chicks, but now we have many cool chicks. Trump. Oh wow. Well, you would know Trump. Yeah, you and your ultimate power. Yeah. And then Lemon says $20. Oh, la la, fancy. $20.
Seriously,
You
lemon,
wish you could get it for $20.
lemon.
Yeah.
You think $20 is fancy? Jeez, I don't know what kind of women you're hanging out with. Seriously.
Yeah, I don't know either. Well, he's in Texas. Who do you think he's hanging out
Good
with?
Lord.
Calamity Jane?
I tell you right now, if I got a $20 hooker, I'd be wrapping it up like prom night to be safe. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Gorilla. Yes, the kangaroo hockey team. There we go.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So Tim, welcome. Yep, we got 4 people still watching. This is cool. I hope. Come on now, Gorilla, come join us if you want to come join us. I know Larry's probably maybe still doing his Fortnite, but if not, Larry, if you're out there, come on up and join us, brother. Give us your perspective. Tim says Bellstar type looking women. Yes, that's true. In Texas, they do have them. They exist, and some carry shotguns. Why do you think they're being so protective? Those guys down in Texas are horn dogs. Sorry, Curtis, but I know it doesn't include you, buddy, but but some of them are horn dogs down there. Let's see. Lemon says, "Why pay for something you can get free with a little work?" Well, what is that some experimental tip yourself that you're applying to PvP that he could use for future reference? Is that what you're saying, Lemon? I don't know. He says that was George Costanza quote. Oh, please. Come on. Jason Alexander, he's the last person you're going to think that he'd find some women. Come on.
Yeah, that makes sense because I wouldn't take George's advice.
Oh, and look, Gorilla is censored again. Hey, Gorilla, told you. Brother, I told you, it's not my fault. Okay? I didn't choose the conditions that YouTube comes up with nowadays, okay? They get extra sensitive. Okay? Now, common words like, the B word and the dreaded 4-letter C word, which I'll never ever, hope to say here on live TV. I will never do that. But, but there's other, other certain words, and YouTube's bots pick them out, or they're the overlords, and they say, "Well, you're censored," and that's it. So Gorilla, please, don't blame me. I'm sorry. But anyway, as you can hear, the shooting starting. They got their fireworks going off. I don't know why people here in Toronto are so excited about doing the stuff. Tim says Coke? No. Coke is like Coca-Cola. Or it could be the other thing. But no, that's not the word I'm talking about. I don't want to spell it out.
Let's put it this way. If you had a name, if you're oh, here we go.
Here comes Chris.
All I said
was
the only thing I know about Queen Victoria is that she had a different dick every night. That's all I said. That's all I said.
That's all you said? Oh man!
Are you seeing a black screen for Gorilla like I'm seeing?
I'm seeing the black screen. Gorilla, turn on your TV or your.
Come on, Gorilla.
It is on.
Well, it ain't showing.
I'm not seeing you, Gorilla. You're a black square.
You're a black rectangle, Gorilla.
Yeah, if you listen to me, I said my camera's broken.
Oh.
Okay. I'm guessing.
Then put up your avatar. Then put up your.
Wait,
you can do that, can't you?
Is it working now?
Not yet.
No,
I'm not seeing anything yet. Keep working. There it is. There. Well, now it disappeared again. You had it up for a minute, and then it disappeared again.
Come on, put that avatar up.
Yeah, at least put your avatar there.
So I'm guessing your cat jumped up on your desk and shot a huge fur ball right into the camera lens, right?
He dropped out again.
Oh shit!
Device not connected. Yeah, I gotta wait till he connects. His darn cat. Oh, there he is. Okay, hold on. There, is it working for you there? All right.
Plug in my camera.
Yeah, you're good.
Jethro probably pulled it out. Okay, probably was playing with it and pulled it out. Cats will tend to do that, Gorilla. When they find something that's
I might just
What's
have to
that?
restart to get the camera working.
Oh, okay. Well, but I'm saying be careful because, like string, wires and like that. That's why I got to be careful with our girls because sometimes one of them likes to poke back here. And I'm like, oh, don't you dare go back there. That's where all of my sensitive wires are. You don't want to mess with that shit. You don't want to do that. No, 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 no. You don't want that pit. That's what it would be like. The Queen Victoria, it's her fault for World War One, basically. No, she lasted until 1901, but no, it's
Yeah,
not her fault.
she was dead for like 13 years before World War One started. Like, fuck.
Correct. Yeah.
No, we can still blame a woman for it.
No,
I'll be
blame
right
the
back.
people after her, Gorilla.
It was the
Don't
people
blame
after
her.
her.
Blame
Yeah.
everybody that came after her.
Well,
Okay.
actually, they had a really bad prime minister, didn't they, back then that came in after her?
Yeah, not a very good one. Yeah,
mm,
but anyway,
anyway,
yeah. So, Gorilla. So, folks down there in the States, you guys still do your fireworks, don't you, on Memorial Day?
Depends on where you go.
Do you? Do you have fireworks where you are there in Minnesota?
No, we have a memorial service. We throw a reef in the river, then we do a 21 gun salute.
Oh, yeah. You did show that one year, didn't you? You had it on one of your
Showed it
shorts.
multiple years. I'll show it again this next year.
Cool. I would love to see that again. Yeah, I thought that
Hmm.
the last one you sent me or you sent us was I believe 17 minutes long. Is that right? About 17, 18 minutes long.
Oh, fuck, I know.
Well, come on. It was your video. You sent it.
Dan likes to talk, so I don't know how long it went.
Let's see. Tim says she married off her kids to a lot of royal houses, so that's why. Oh, well, if you use that as an excuse, Tim, I guess it makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Royal houses.
You can't really blame a parent for what the kids do, though. Seriously.
Yeah. Okay. And Lemon says fireworks are more July 4th.
You blame a parent; they didn't beat their ass enough.
Probably so. Yeah. So, fireworks are more July 4th, not Memorial Day so much. Yeah, I know, Lemon.
So
I
you're
kind of like seeing them though. Yeah.
So you're saying Worf was guilty in sins of the father?
Yeah.
Well, that's because his father wasn't around. I was going to make another comment, but better not.
Well, Queen Victoria had been dead for like 13 years when World War One started. So it wasn't like she was around either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but that's not the father. That's the father's job to beat the ass.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's what Lemon says. World War I was because a Serb stopped off for a sandwich. Well, I happen to know the name of that Serb was Princip. It was Princicip, and his first name was Gustavo Princip.
Yeah, and when he was getting the sandwich, he actually shot somebody dead too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, while I'm getting a sandwich, I go over to this royal car and shoot this guy called Ferdinand. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, World War II was just asking to happen, or World War I was just asking to happen.
Well, there was a lot of animosity, right, Gorilla?
Well, first of all, you got all these people making a tangled alliances there. Then you had arms races going on.
Right
there's all kinds of shit going on.
Yes. Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot of things happening. Well, the one thing I do remember from the beginnings is that Austria and Hungary were really, they were squabbling amongst themselves, and apparently the Serbs, which were in Serbia, Montenegro, that sort of thing, they were all upset about the monarchy, and that's why they decided to go after Ferdinand and took him out. So, yeah, I mean, that's just, there was just a lot of lingering hostility. over the years. And and then the Germans got silly and said, "Oh, sure, why don't you guys just come join us?" And then they built a whole bunch of and even the Maginot Line wasn't even secure back then in World War One either. Remember that, Gorilla?
Yeah,
So,
well, they refortified it but they didn't do anything along the Ardennes because no one could get an army through the Ardennes. No, not one way ever. No, they can't get through the Ardennes.
You keep insisting on that. The Ardennes forest was was a very dense forest. I mean,
Well, it wasn't
I
dense
couldn't
enough,
even get through
obviously.
there if I could find my mom or some shit,
Yeah, it obviously wasn't dense enough.
Well, there was a few dense forests.
Well,
battles.
I think the leader. So that was in France, right? The forest.
Yeah, the Ardennes. Yes.
Okay. I think the French leadership were more dense than the forest, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, the only reason that the forest was part of the reason that Uncle Adolf there went through the Ardennes was because he was tipped off by fucking what was it, William? Prince
Yeah.
William?
Right. And here's Lemon saying Austria-Hungary Empire was a mess trying to rule over various peoples. Yes, it was. They were misfits. What can you
No, but
say?
wasn't the Austrian Hungary that empire was ready to collapse before the war, even, right?
Wasn't that the Ottoman Empire before it became that?
I think it was.
Austria-Hungary?
Yeah, I think it was the Ottoman. Yeah, I think you're right.
I believe it was, yeah. And hello, Accounting Sheep, one of our friends with Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf.
Yeah,
Hello, Accounting. Welcome. He says, hiya, Mike, and he says, howdy to all. Welcome, Sheep. It's good to see you. Yes, Ottoman Empire is totally different. Okay, Lemon, but I know that Austria and Hungary were parts of that empire. So that's why I mentioned it. Because I know they were that way back then. So, yeah.
Perhaps one led to the other. I don't know.
Well, Sir Lemon claims to know all. He claims to know all.
You know what's kind of sad about the whole Serb thing, though, is like
Love you, Lemon.
that was still playing out when Clinton was the president, right? Like what was it, 80s or whatever?
Something like that, yeah.
Just remember the whole the whole Serbian war and all that crap, right? Like I won't go into details, but that was extremely ugly.
Well, it was the Croats and the Serbs, right?
There was wasn't there a third group? There's a third group too, wasn't there? Can't remember my history.
Do you remember that, Gorilla? Do you remember who the third group was? There was the Croats, the Serbs, and then there was
Bosnians.
The who?
The Bosnians, wasn't it?
Bosnia.
That's it, the Bosnia.
Yeah. Bosnia, yes, you got it. Thank you, Gorilla.
The Bosnia-Herzegovina. It was Bosnia-Herzegovina. Then there was Yugoslavia, and then there was
Serbia,
Croatia. Yeah. Right.
That was a really ugly conflict. Because I remember. Well, the thing is, I remember watching that, and I don't know if they had I don't know if they had UN troops in there at all, but I remember
there was a few. But
what year are we talking?
I think that was in the early 90s, Gorilla, right around 1991.
Oh, but yeah, Bosnia. Yeah, we went in there. We dropped a few bombs and then we said, "Fuck it, you guys can rebuild yourselves."
Yeah, well, I know. Clinton was dipping his cigars. I won't say where, back in those days, but you know what I'm saying. Clinton was president then, was he not, growing?
Yeah, 90s was Clinton, and 2000 was the election between Bush and Al Gore. Then that everybody is still pissing and moaning about.
Yeah, Bush League. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Clinton did very fucking little. Like he basically sat on his ass and did very little.
Right. And Lemon says Ottoman Empire is what is now Turkey, roughly speaking. Oh, yeah, well, that makes sense.
I think Lemon's essentially correct there, actually.
I think he is too. And of course, he says hello to Accounting Sheep.
Oh,
all right. Thank you, Lemon. Yeah. Well, And the thing too is the United States, during the Cold War, they did have some bases in Turkey. I remember how that whole Cuban, face-off started, the missile crisis, because we had those bases in Turkey, and the Russians said, take them out of there, and, all this stuff. That's kind of how that started back in the early 60s. And, of course, then the Russians said, well, if you put bases here in Turkey, we're going to move missiles to Cuba. Woohoo! Yeah. And that got people pissed. So, yeah, that was crazy. See, nowadays, here's the thing. The United States still has bases in place in Turkey, but now that's to oversee Syria, because Syria has all those bad people. So, yeah, that's just there as a holding pattern to watch after them. And hello, Sif Dan. He says, hopefully Gorilla doesn't fall asleep by counting sheep. Oh, come on. What is this thing about you and sleep?
On a panel.
Gorilla, can you honestly tell me what this whole business is about you falling asleep on a stream and Dan is just calling you out?
Oh, there's a couple times when we've heard Gorilla going on a couple of streams. We have heard him snoring. And I'm speaking truth, Gorilla. In your heart, I am.
Ah, you're all just full of shit. That's all.
Yeah, but you love us.
I'm choking now. This Gorilla made me laugh.
Oh my. Sif Dan, I got your joke. A counting sheep said, I thought it was a counting sheep joke. Oh man. Oh.
Well,
counting
sheep is what you do when you lie down in bed, right?
Yeah. Oh shit! St. Louis is about to get hit with another tornado.
Yeah,
Oh.
I heard that, Gorilla. I also heard that near where Tony Stark of Iron is, his area got hit in Kentucky. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, but
literally
just about 20 miles south of St. Louis, or maybe 30 miles south of St. Louis, there's another tornado warning
on its way right now. Wow,
it's headed north.
Holy crap!
Yikes! Well, hope they get through it. Yeah, apparently Lemon Pie did a reconnaissance over at Tony's channel, and he said, "Oh, he's streaming. He's alive. He's talking." So, okay. I just knew of some tornadoes that hit pretty close to Louisville, I guess, where he is, and and there was some damage, and I don't know if anybody died, but there was a lot of damage in those areas too. There's 3 states that were hit majorly, but St. Louis was one of them.
I'm glad we got really wimpy weather out here, because we never get this extreme crap.
Yeah.
Don't worry, people. If you ever make your way to the Midwest, we'll take you chasing.
Yeah. Okay. If I ever do, I'll take you up on that, Gorilla.
Yeah, we should all do storm chasing one of these days.
The closest a tornado has ever been was when one hit in Alberta, and that's quite a ways away.
Well, Suzanne did say we've had 1 or 2 tornadoes in her lifetime since she moved here, in the greater Toronto area. So,
hey, that's not a tornado. It's just a wimpy wind.
Well,
F-Zero is not a real tornado.
Yeah, we never get them in BC because the Rocky Mountains, right? That really protects us from a lot of bad weather. It really does. The climate's pretty mild. The closest thing we come to tornadoes, you know what a dust devil is when it starts to swirl around?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I've only seen a couple of those in 67 years, and our weather is mostly very benign out here.
Well, they tell us that when we have tornado-like conditions, maybe not an official funnel, but when we do have the tornado-like conditions, the high winds here can get up to over 100 miles per hour. So,
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty dangerous. Yeah. Now, have I seen a water spout appear over Lake Ontario? Not yet, but I think it would be pretty cool to see one least I hope it won't hit us if we ever get one. But I think it would be cool, you know.
Well, this
just
one
to see-
here was close. This beautiful one here was about 30 miles from me there a couple of years ago. Or
Oh, okay,
about
let's
10
take a look.
last June.
Oh, wow, yeah.
There we go.
Can you guys see it clearly? Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Look at that. Oh my
Didn't
god.
hit anything.
Well, this-
Didn't hit anything.
Was this the one that came near you, Gorilla?
Yes, that
Wow.
beautiful wedge.
Nice.
You know, I can think of things that are shaped like that are much more appealing.
Oh, so you
Is
want
that
to
a
funnel the
special
grass
joke
there
there, PvP?
down,
I have. This is why I'm still single. Like as I told Mikey, I have a weird mind. I'm sorry, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's just you.
My mind hops around all over the. My mind hops around like a drunken frog. Let's put it that way.
Oh god. Speaking of
well-
frog, guys. Speaking of frog, guess who's 70 years old this year? Kermit the Frog.
Jeez.
He is. He's 70 years old. He got started back in 1955 with Jim Henson, and he is 70
Goodness
years
me.
old. Kermit the Frog. Can you believe that? That is fucking insane.
I don't think he looks a day over 30. Actually.
Well, you know, I made fun of him on Facebook. I said, you know, hi ho, Kermit the Frog here, and I'm turning 70 this year. Yay!
I think it helps though when you're basically like a foam rubber puppet or something. You don't age quite as fast.
Well, you know, we were in Seattle, I told you, and we got to see an actual set taken. This was the Museum
Oh,
of Television and Film, and we got to see an actual set that was taken from Sesame Street, and they had me and a couple of people go behind. This was an interactive set, and they had us go behind, take a couple of Muppets, put them in our hands, and go and sit in these weird ass positions to monitor, so they could monitor and us acting like we were the Muppets. And I was like, that was insane. I would not want to be a Muppeteer. I would not, because they were.
I got to ask you, Mikey. Are you confessing that you had your hand up Kermit's ass?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Okay.
Not by choice. They wanted me to, and a couple of tourists to go behind there and try it out. I said, "Oh yeah, what the hell?"
Now,
So
see,
they had me.
if we were on Gorilla Stream, he would clip that.
Ha ha ha! See, it's on my stream, so I don't.
You were in Seattle and you went to the Film and Television. That's
Museum.
the one. The rich guy. I can't remember his fucking name, but he's got the
Paul
museum.
Allen.
Okay,
Paul
my
Allen.
cousin and I went to the same facility, but we only had enough time to make a choice for one, and we chose the music one, right?
Yeah.
Like
I visited the music one as well. I mean, I did.
Well, we didn't have time. We had like an hour because we were only there for the weekend. And
I was in both museums for a total of 6 hours.
I would have loved to seen the Star Trek crap. Right, that would have been awesome.
Oh, that was beautiful.
But
That stuff and the sets were wonderful.
we decided on the music because we wanted to see some of the Paul Revere and the Raiders. Like Paul Revere's original organ, he played the keyboards in the 60s. And we got to walk up close to look at the notebooks that Jimi Hendrix hand wrote his lyrics out in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, Mikey, looking at the Jimi Hendrix in his own handwriting, the lyrics for Purple Rain. Not Purple Rain, Purple Haze.
Purple Haze, yes.
Purple Haze. I mean, that was pretty mind-boggling.
Well,
actually.
they're encased in glass, right? Yeah.
Oh,
the
it was
actual original lyrics.
Of course, it wasn't a case. I didn't flip through the pages or anything, but
I know
right?
it's in a case, but I know what you're talking
amazing. And there were so many other cool musicians stuff. I wish I'd kind of seen, but I guess for whatever reason, did they charge you a separate admission each one? Maybe
No, they charged me. They charged me one set admission, if I was going, because they're connected, right? So if I was going to see it
Yeah.
all together, I got paid one pass, and I paid one pass
Yeah.
for all of it.
To
It
this
was
day, I
pretty
don't.
inexpensive too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why we didn't go see the sci-fi, but there must have been some reason we passed
Well,
on.
when I went to see it, it was back in 2009. I had gone that summer. I was up there in Seattle for 4 days. I went to visit a gal friend of mine named Jennifer Newberry. She's now Jennifer Crutchfield. She's happily married, has 2 kids. Chris is her husband. But back then she was single. I went up there to see her perform at the Bite of Seattle, which was the music festival, and she did great. She sang a song that I love that she started her career with called Daddy, and it's a good song. And I wanted to hear it, so I heard it live. And then I went down and drove down with my rental car down to Lakewood, Washington State, which is near Tacoma. And she was performing at the Great American Casino there 2 nights in a row. So I went to go see her perform there live with her band, which was called 4 More. And I met a friend of mine whose name was, ironically, Jethro. And he came from the Tri Cities area, like Walla Walla, Pasco, and, all that area. So
Okay.
he went up there with the 2 nights, and he and I, we drank beers, we watched Jennifer perform, and it was fantastic. Loved it. I mean, it was a great time. And I have moments that I shot on my camera. It's on my channel. It's on the Mike Uses Sport channel, and it's under Jennifer, me, and Jethro at the casino. There are 9 different videos. They're not very long. They're probably like up to almost 3 minutes long, but not that not real long ones. But yeah, I mean, there's like 9 parts. It's all available. You can check it out. If you look up Jennifer Crutchfield's channel, it's called Swedish, but she spells Swedish like Sweedish instead of with just one E. And if you go there, Swedish Love, she calls it. If you go there, that's where all of the ones I did are there also. So, or you can check my Warlord Fade channel. That's where I got them from originally, was the shots there.
Okay.
Yeah, in Tacoma. So, yeah, I can send you that playlist someday. PvP.
You want to throw it over on Facebook one of these days? That'd be good.
I will, because there's 9. Like I said, there's 9 videos, 9 shots, video shots I took of her concert, and all the songs that she did. So yeah, there's 7 of them. 7 of them, but yeah,
I got some stuff I should throw to your Facebook too, because that's the best way to do it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, let's get caught up in the chat just real quick. So Lemon says Sif Dan drops the jokes in between his hairbrushing sessions. I already thought he had a Mo haircut, so why would he be brushing? And Sai says, and I'm eyeing some lemon pie to take a slice out of it. I see, they're already at the banter there. Lemon says, when PvP experiences a tornado, he just clicks his heels together and says, there's no place like home. Oh, jeez.
We never get tornadoes here. That's the thing, Lemon. We just don't.
And Tim says, did you play Dark Side of the Moon when the tornado was happening? Yeah, there's that legend. There's that urban legend that if you play the entire album of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon to the movie Wizard of Oz, it follows it bit by bit, scene by scene, word by word, lyric by lyric in the entire album. Like
that, I really think that's an urban legend though, because I've read other places where say it just doesn't work. It's just not real.
I told you guys I tried it once and I didn't even get halfway through and I was like, no, I tried it. It doesn't work.
People love to create urban legends, but that doesn't mean I'll ever believe them, right?
Yeah, but it's a fun urban legend. I mean, I know some of my college buddies tried it, and and I'm going, it matching? Is it matching? No, it's not.
Of course, I say if you want to try it, but
right. Let's see. Sci-Fi Sitan says tornado. Oh, you got to work on your spelling, buddy. Tornado Gorilla is incoming to giving people a blown away job. What? There he goes with his nonsensical words there, Gorilla. What do you say to that? What do you say, Gorilla?
Ugh, no wonder I fall asleep.
No wonder you do. Yeah, so Tim says so. He is 69 now, tee. No, PvP is 67, not 69 yet.
I gotta wait another 2 years before I meet the woman I can experience
Yeah.
that with.
And Dan said Kermit the Frog loves to get fingered all the time to talk to his fans. Oh, man. You know, I don't
know.
envy Brian Henson, okay?
I-
or the new guy that does him now.
I just can't comment on Seth Dan's comments anymore.
Yeah. Tim says Kermit enjoyed the fisting then.
Oh my god.
Well, maybe he did. I don't know. But he's 70, Tim, not 69. He's 70. Lemon says, we do get tornadoes down my way. Well, duh, dude. You live in Texas. Wouldn't you get tornadoes down there? Dude, I lived in Oklahoma for 18 months, and I lived near Tornado Alley. So believe me, yes, you're going to get tornadoes down there just as much as the Oklahomans do. Probably even worse. Dan says to Lemon, now, don't turn sour on us, please. And Lemon says, when I chat this much, your spelling perfect will not be. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, I hope I didn't start a fight down there with those guys.
Well, lemons are sour by nature, are they not?
Sometimes, but if but that's because of the acidity.
No, I'm
That's why
talking about the little yellow things that you peel. I'm not talking necessarily about lemon in the chat.
Oh yeah, no. Lemon's a decent guy. He's good.
Yeah.
Gorilla, do you have you heard any news lately about anything? Anything you want to comment on or say something about?
No, not really.
Not really.
The only news that's really been anybody's been talking about lately is Joe Biden's cancer in the cover-up. I don't want to talk about it.
Right, his prognosis. Yeah. Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah. Well, there's somebody else who has the same kind of diagnosis, but their cancer was metastasized. So that person is going to be dying soon.
His has too.
Yeah.
Well, personal experience. The only time I dealt with prostate cancer was when I was going to art school in the late 80s. I had a professor that came down with it, and it was like Biden. It was like aggressive form, and he lasted about 8 months, and he was dead. So this is serious shit. This is serious shit. I don't think Biden's going to make. I don't think Biden's going to make. 2026. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things I know for certain about cancer. First of all, I would never wish it on any of my enemies or anyone. Period. Especially my enemies. I would never wish that on anyone, but especially them. That's one thing. The other thing is I've seen it in action. I see what it does to people, and it turns them. Their whole physical being goes worse. Their mental capacity starts to dim and fade. It is the worst possible thing you could ever be diagnosed with. It truly is. And pray that you never have a doctor come to you and say, by the way, you have this blah, 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 blah cancer. You never want to hear that. That is the one thing you never, ever want to hear. In that case, if it's really something serious, you probably ask the doctor, okay, so when am I going to die? Let me know my death date. I'll try to enjoy myself until I die. So most people are kind of resigning themselves to that. I'm sorry, I got morbid there, but
Well, I have had very personal experiences.
Well, now I just want to catch up here quick. So Lemon says, does fear prevent cancer? If it does, I should be in good shape.
I
No, I
I
don't think beer
I
prevents bad lemon.
I would say I recommend you have a couple more beers tonight, Lemon.
Oh, I see. Lemon says the spelling comment was addressed to you, Mikey. Well, I told you I'm a spell checker freak show. That's what my wife calls me. I comment on people who like, you know, what I know that sometimes when you type real fast, you can make those mistakes, and that's fine. That's whatever. But some people use the autocorrect, and the autocorrect is not the best thing in the world. In fact, it screws up what you're trying to say half the time, or more than half the time, actually. I know the Gorillas had issues with it. I know I did. And PvP's had issues with it. So
I turned autocorrect off like a year ago.
so did I.
I killed it.
You notice why I really,
I turned it off.
Yeah.
I thought if I'm going to fuck up and make spelling mistakes, they're going to be my mistakes.
Exactly. And Dan says, breaking news. Kayla has just arrived at Gorilla's home in nice special outfit. Tell him, take me with your big banana. Oh, Dad, you went there? Oh.
Come on, Dad. Don't be talking about my girl like that.
Dan, she ain't getting there until July, so you're about a month and a half off, you pervert.
Hey, don't forget, Gorilla and PvP can put you in timeout. And I can tell them to put you in timeout, Dan. Oh. I'm just saying, okay? I'm not threatening you. I'm just saying.
I never thought about that. Well, he's a wrench too, though, so I don't know if we can do that.
Well, I can take away wrenches.
I don't think one wrench can take another wrench out, can they?
I'm kidding, Dan, okay? But please, don't push it. Please don't do that. That's not nice. Jeff B says, I call it hell check. Oh, you call my spelling hell check. Okay. Well, I guess it's the hell check then. I guess that's what it is. Yeah. So thank you, Jeff B. Now I know what to call it. I'll just call it hell check. Okay. That sounds good.
Cancer is a very personal thing, though. Like, that's, my family, it's the cancer. Like, nobody ever had a heart attack. I'm sure my heart will be ticking away until I'm 90, but it's the cancer thing that scares me because I've lost so much family to it. My sister passed away from the breast cancer 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had a granddad that passed away probably 10 years before that with throat cancer.
Yeah.
Now, I got my cousin and his wife. His wife has lung cancer, which is really serious because the chemo is not working anymore, which is scary. My cousin told me a month ago he's got prostate cancer, which I hope it's the slow kind because I know that's one that's treatable. But
okay, Dan.
I hate cancer. I hate fucking cancer is fucked.
Yeah.
And I'm really worried. I'm really worried. I'm especially worried about my my cousin's wife because I know lung cancer is a bad one, right?
Yeah. Well, Lemon is right about one thing. The only people that really could would be myself or Suzanne or Lemon Pie or Connie Cleary. They're all the managing moderators to my channel. So, I mean, they can do it. I mean, you guys can put him in timeout if you want for, like I said, you can still put him in timeout even if he's a wrench. You still can put him in timeout for about 15 minutes or up to 24 hours. God, I don't even know why we're talking about this. Come on. We're all friends here.
We shouldn't be up. We shouldn't even be needing.
I know. We're all friends here. We shouldn't be talking that way. But yes, Lemon Pie, you are correct. You are a managing moderator, and you is fully allowed to do what you want to do. That's up to you. Yeah. Lemon says it's the chat equivalent of Sith Lightning. Yeah, just for a reference there, Dan. And he says, but I would never time out Sith, Dan. Well, there you go, Lemon.
So
you're a better man than I, my friend. Yeah.
So you're telling me I better kiss Lemon's ass to just be on the safe side?
I would never tell you to do that, PvP.
And
I would never say that.
I hope Lennon understands. I'm just making another one of my stupid jokes.
I'm sure he does. Dan says to Lemon, would the force choke move be quicker? Oh, Dan, you
Oh
are
my God.
hilarious.
You know, I spend way too much time on YouTube with you guys because you guys are so much fun to hang out with. I gotta say.
Well, I'm really happy that BGP that you and Gorilla are both here, and I wish Larry was here. But maybe he got tired or something, and that's fine. I mean, what he's going through right now, I don't want to.
I actually messaged Larry earlier today. I said, "Hey, you doing Avengers?" and never got an answer. So
yeah, so
I'm guessing he's not.
Now, Lemon says you guys talk that way about the only female friend I ever brought up, so let's not get on a high horse.
But if I ever about anybody who's brought up, I try to be polite to those small time YouTubers. And
I don't know what female friend you're talking about, Lemon. Like I don't.
Yeah, tell us who you're talking about, Lemon, because we don't know.
Understand. I love it when the tacos come on the sausage party. Like that's always good, right? We need more females on here. Like son of a gun.
We do. Lemon says, it's all good. Okay. Well, you're gonna tell us one day, Lemon. Come on. Dan said, yeah, then we will have Mo, Larry, and Curly on the panel. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Well, I got my hair cut yesterday, and now it's so short I could join the Marines. So can I be like Curly or something now? Like because I got no.
Well, you could. Sure, you could. Larry is streaming with Raquel. Oh, he's streaming with Raquel.
Is he playing Fortnite or something?
Yeah, he could be gaming. Yeah, that's it. He is gaming with Raquel. Okay, I understand.
Okay, Larry. But you know, it would be nice if you told us you had to change some plans because we were all hoping for another Avengers tonight. So,
well, I was hoping for that, but that's okay. It's okay. Larry's got a lot on his mind.
No, I'll give Larry a wide credit there.
I give him a wide berth and a wide pass because I know he's already told me in secret that there is something's going to go on in the next couple months. It's not going to be pleasant, and I do not want to wish it upon anyone at all. And I just want to, say, hey, Kayla, hey, Kayla, your girlfriend's here, Gorilla. Kayla Farley.
Hey, Kayla.
Hey, everyone. Hello, Kayla. Hey, Kayla, I can drop the link if you'd like to join us. Would you like to join us? Please tell us right now. We still have some time left before we're going to head on out of here. So, yes, if you want to come up and say a few words, Miss Kayla, please. I will drop the link if you want me to.
Kayla, if you want to hang out with us weirdos, and because we're we're obviously weirdos if we hang out with this gorilla guy. But if you're going to get to know us associates of the furry one, you might want to get to know us before you move over there.
Yeah, tell you what, I will. Here, let's see if I still have it. Yes, I do. Okay, here you go. All right, here you go, Kayla. It's going to be up for about 5 minutes. I need you to click on it if you'd like to come join us. If not, let us know immediately, and I'll remove it. Okay, but that is the StreamYard link, and I'll keep it highlighted for you. Okay, just for a few minutes. All right. Sif Dan said PvP. Oh, you want to read this PvP? Go ahead.
Oh, give me a second. You could have Gorilla or Mikey help you if Larry's unavailable to schedule the. Yeah, well, I'm not even thinking of doing Dark Shadows right now because Dark Shadows it's like 1,200 episodes, and I got thinking that's a long commitment, right? And then I was on Curtis Selby's stream with another person last night for a little while, and I said, "Hey, how about if I do Burn Notice?" And everybody's like, "Yes, yes, 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 Burn Notice, yeah." It was like 100% positive from all the people on the stream and in the chat. So I'm kind of thinking I might flip over to Burn Notice now. You know what I really want to ask Larry is Larry sent me a bunch of information in my email like 2 months ago about how to do live streams, and I can't for the life of me. I've been searching, I can't find that folder now. So I was going to ask Larry if he can resend it to me, but of course he's busy.
Yeah, now Lemon is saying my story about seeing The Last Jedi. You don't remember it wasn't a big deal. A bug deal. A bug deal. Oh, okay. It wasn't a bug deal. Okay.
Bug you?
I know he was saying big, but yeah. Hey,
Oh, by the way, when Trudeau was trying to get Canadians to eat crickets for food, he put like
God.
he put $3 million into a cricket farm in Canada to breed crickets. Guess what happened?
For crickets? For cooked
For
crickets?
food, for Canadians to eat crickets.
Oh, Jesus.
This is how nuts Trudeau is. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just read on YouTube that company went out of business because it went bankrupt this week.
Oh, wow.
I was like, well,
that's good.
gee,
That's good because I'm never going to eat crickets. No.
Yeah, I haven't heard a single person on YouTube saying, yeah, I want to eat bugs. So it's like, yes, thumbs up there. But that's the thing. $3 million of taxpayers' investment down the fucking drain, right?
Yeah. And Lemon's saying, is this? I'm sorry, PvP. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. I was finished.
Oh, okay. Well, Lemon says, is this Gorilla's gal? And he says, hi, Kayla. And she says, yes, I'm Gorilla's gal, LOL.
Yeah, she's supposed to be yelling at right now, telling them.
Yeah, we all really want to meet Kayla and welcome her to the community.
Yeah. Dan says, the less I remember or talk of the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy, the better. Yeah, Dan, you and I have talked about that already. We do not mention the sequels 7, 8, and 9. We do not. Yeah, they're not the best at all. Seriously.
Well, I'm not.
Kayla, let's see. Kayla, do you want to come up? Let me know. Okay, please let me know in the chat if you'd like to.
Tired, so I don't know if she'll come up.
Maybe she.
It's an hour ahead. It's work in the morning.
Well, maybe she's. Well, Mikey's not going to be on much longer anyway because I got to.
Yeah.
Go her, so.
Yeah, I'm not. We're gonna probably sign off here at about the 2-hour mark, and if Larry's still doing the thing over there, we can go ahead and say Mikey Sue's, hashtag Mikey Sue's 4 raid, and raid them over there.
Yeah,
yeah, I do allow gals on the panel. Yes, I do because Gorilla said it best: equal representation. Why have a sausage fest up here when we can have a couple of ladies that will, have opinions too and can talk with us guys? Why not?
Well,
Why not? You know this already, Lemon. I've told you this before.
I'm still waiting for someone to steal that stream title like everybody else takes everything I start. I'm still waiting for someone to take that stream title, but no one will.
What title are you talking about? Come on.
Well, everybody's having Raquel has the Divas and Dorks. Charlotte started something. I can't remember what she called it, where it's like the guys and gals there.
Well, if I get my channel going, I'm going to call it Sausages and Tacos.
There you go.
There you go.
I've been trying to get someone to do a taco and sausage party, but
yeah,
okay. I'm going to show it one more time for Kayla.
Taco party. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to show it one more time here for Kayla. Kayla, would you like to come? Please come up here, be with us for the last few minutes. We would really love to have you up here to join us, to be here for Gorilla and everybody. So
there you
let
go.
us know. All right.
Come on, Kayla. We really want to meet you and say hello, howdy. Like we're friendly. We're good people.
We're good people.
We're good
people.
Don't be shy,
all
Kayla.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, if you're a friend of Gorillas, you're a friend of ours. Come on, Kayla.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
And hello, Chilo. Chilo is a friend of Larry's from Beer Soap Adventures. Welcome, Chilo. Hello, Mikey. Hope all is well. Thank you, Chilo. I appreciate you being here as well. And Lemon says, gals, dames, chicks, all are welcome. Well, thank you, Lemon. Chilo says, hello, Lemon Pie. I love the name. Oh, well, you're welcome, Chilo. Yeah. Yeah, he's a cool lemon. He says, hi, Chilo. Thank you. Yeah. Don't forget, someday we'll probably turn Lemon Pie into a lemon meringue pie. Then he'll have to change his name. So,
I still keep telling Lemon he's got to listen to the Lemon Song by Led Zeppelin because that should
Yeah.
be his theme.
and Lemon says, okay, don't push her. I'm not pushing.
No, that will be Gorilla's job, not ours.
Well, asking someone 15 times it can be kind of pushing.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but I don't push. Come on.
Well, don't worry about it, Kayla. Like, we're not worried.
Yeah. But Kayla, I hope that you would like to join us for Gorilla when he does his cigar lounge tomorrow. We would love to see you there. The cigar lounge is pretty much our free breeding ground that we can talk about just about anything. And because it's on Gorilla's channel, he doesn't get booted off so much for his own opinions.
I still get it. Hey, that reminds me. I gotta check to see if I have to write a fuck you letter to Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah. You still got to write that letter, don't you? Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know. They haven't blocked the last two streams. I think it's like, what the hell?
Well, that's good. That's good.
Of course, I've been playing less clips too.
Oh, PvP. You want to hear this? Of course, he just misspelled.
I heard the last time well before I met you. PPBP. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, he does that on purpose because
that must be an impersonator that's impersonating me. PBP.
I don't know.
I have to get my hitman and track him down. Sorry.
Oh, here, yeah, okay. Lemon says I need a woman American on panel to keep federal funding. I don't even get federal funding. What, Lemon? What are you talking about? I have this beautiful Canadian lady right here, so I don't need some American woman. Come on.
Oh God.
You know how Lenny Kravitz treated American women. He said it in his song. And it was a remake. It wasn't the original.
Oh, you gotta listen. You gotta hear the Guess Who. That's the only version that matters.
That's what I mean. The Guess Who was the original American Woman song,
and the best, and the only,
and the better one, and the only one that should be out there.
I'm going to be crude. I'm going to say, fuck Levi Kravitz. The Guess Who are the only ones that own that song.
That deserve that song. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I agree with you.
That was probably the biggest hit they ever had in America too, which is crazy, right?
Oh my gosh!
No, it was the biggest hit they ever had in the USA, which is kind of nuts, is it not? Like,
yeah. Or do you want to read what Dan? Yeah. Or do you want to read what Dan said?
Excuse me, what? What? You talking to me?
No, I was going to say PvP. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you want to read what Sif Dan just said there?
He said, or the private's bigger. I don't. Oh, he's talking to PvP. He's not talking to me.
PvP.
I don't know who the hell PBP is, but that ain't me.
Well, he was kind of using that acronym, and he's saying it means private's bigger pill, whatever that means.
Well, okay. I guess I'll have to go there, even though I don't want to. I've never taken a blue pill in my life, and I don't need to. Let's put it that way.
Ah, well, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't need to take any pills to get excited about a woman. Is that polite enough?
That's polite enough. I feel bad enough that I had to be an operator for 6 months talking about penal enhancement pills to sell it to corporations.
You were on the phone talking about penis enhancement. Oh my!
6 months
God.
I did. For 6 months I did. I got paid well too. I got paid well too. But then I found out 6 months later that the guy who was running the company actually worked with the mob. So even though we were getting awesome paychecks, every week, and we were getting paid well every month, I found out that this guy had ties with the mob. And one day I go to work and there's all these federal types all over the place.
Oh, good
SWAT,
God.
federal, everybody. And they
Wow.
shut down the place. So when I got there, I said, I'm going to work. What's going on? They said, well, we just blah, 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 blah. Found out this was a front for a mob group that's making money, and we had to
Holy
shut them
crap.
down. So it was a year-long investigation, and apparently I got in there,
Jesus.
6 months into their investigation and started working with the place.
So
yeah.
I'm guessing the FBI or whoever the fuck they were said, sorry, buddy, you ain't working here anymore.
That's what they told me. They said, turn around right now and go home.
Oh
You're
well,
no longer have a job here. And I said, well, okay.
At least you were an honest, innocent employee and didn't get caught up
Hey,
in.
they asked me, was there anything that that I was allowed to take home or anything? I said no. They never gave me once the product. They showed it to us since I held it in my hand, so I know it existed, but that was only to show and demonstrate what I was supposed to talk about on the phone. So that's what I had.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well,
did
I
for
just
6
would have said
months.
I would have told them the only thing I ever took home was a paycheck, and that probably would have been good, right? So
Well, I did tell them that, we really, we were aware of what we were selling. But the thing was, is that, they just paid us what they felt was right, for this kind of, work that we were doing.
no.
And they said, well, you're not, here's the thing. When I got there and they told me to, to go, but they said, but don't worry, you're not responsible because, you were an innocent bystander who just got hired to do this job, and they never fully explained to you what it was for. And because of that ignorance, that's why I wasn't arrested on the spot. I wasn't taken
Wow.
away in handcuffs or anything.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
The craziest ass thing it is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
What year was this?
Oh, this was oh my God, now I can't even remember when this was. It was in the late 90s. It was in the late 90s before I moved to Oklahoma. I was with my second ex-wife then.
We're talking over 25 years then, I'm guessing.
Been a long time, yeah, at least.
Oh well, that's good. That's good. It's in your past. It was.
It's there, but it's not something you want to claim. Now I don't have to work because I'm retired, so I don't have to work anymore.
Yeah,
but it's not something But if I was still working, it's not something I would put on my application.
You wouldn't put in the resume. Work for a criminal.
Or the resume. I would not do that. No.
6 months for the M word, right? I'm not going to say it because YouTube will go nuts. But hey, I just put in the private chat the Guess Who playing American Woman.
Well, there you go. Awesome.
And that's way back in the 70s when they played it.
Well, a long time ago, yeah.
The weird thing was. Oh, okay.
I was going to say, Lemon says, I'll be back in 5 minutes if you're still here. Yeah, we're going to be here for at least another 10 minutes, Lemon, and then we'll head on out the door. So
go squeeze your lemon there, Lemon.
Yeah, and Mikey was doing penal enlargement calls.
Oh
yes, I was, Dan. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
Good Lord.
G.I. Joe. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll see myself out.
Well, Dan does have some class. I gotta give him that.
Oh, now come on. You say my job sucked? I got paid good money to do that for 6 months. I'm no lie. It was one of my highest paid jobs at that point until I, finally got the job I wanted with Safeway and got paid, eventually $16 an hour. So, but still, it was one, it's not something I was proud of. I mean, I told Suzanne about it and she said, well, that's weird. I said, I know, but it was at the time, it was the only job. The job market in the mid 90s was sucked. It was terrible. And I could barely find anything that I wanted to do that would accommodate my general business degree. So then I just, I inquired. They said go to this building, and I went there, and well, they hired me on the spot. They said they needed me to do calls, and I did them, and I didn't question what it was about, even though they pointed out that the product, told me what it was. And I said, okay, hey, a job's a job. Back then, you worked it. You didn't care what it was. So, yeah, it's okay, Dan. You don't need to make jokes about me. You can hold off on that until tomorrow or whenever we see you again. But now you know something about me that only Suzanne, me, and maybe a few people here know.
that is totally factual, though. A job is a job, and that's why
It is.
I'm
That's-
still working. I'm still working at the same job for over 5 years now, and
And you're happy you're working, right? I mean, you're making
Well,
money.
no, I'm happy I can pay the rent and not be homeless.
Well, that's
you know-
what I say, and not be on the streets and whatever.
You know what's
so.
scary is I go to get like groceries or put gas in the car, right? And I
Right.
drive along and I see these, you've seen these guys that have all their worldly possessions loaded in a shopping cart, pushing along the sidewalk. And I was like,
It's sad.
I don't know how these people exist. Like, how do they survive?
I don't know. You
Like,
know what I meant to
I
ask
could
you?
live.
Yeah,
I could not live like that. I would rather be dead than live like that. Let's put it that way.
but I'm sure. Now let me guess. I'm sure you do have a few homeless in your area. Am I wrong or right?
What in my area?
Homeless people.
It was really bad like 5 years ago because there used to be a homeless shelter a block away,
Hmm.
and it was bad. I'll never forget one night. This is when I still worked at the office, and one night,
Yeah.
one night, this was like 3 years ago because I was still working at the office then, right, Mikey?
Yeah, right.
One night I drive home. It's about sometimes I work till like 7 o'clock, so it's like 7:30 at night, and I drive up to like the shelter. I'm driving up to my home, and then I wanted to go like get milk or something at the grocery store, and the grocery store that is still there is like right across the street from what was the homeless shelter.
Hmm.
So I go in to get my milk, and I'm seeing, wow, there's like
Thank you, baby.
there's like hi there. There's like half a dozen cop cars.
Wow.
There's like 6 police cars, and all their lights are flashing, right? Red, blue, whatever. Anyway, let me know when you want to continue.
No, I am listening. Go ahead. I just asked her if I would get a drink. I'm trying not to be impolite and
No, I was just going to say that night when I drove up to just go, I just wanted to go to the grocery store and get milk or something, and I pull in the parking lot, get out of the car, and there's like half a dozen police cars. There's like half a dozen police cars in front of the
Thanks,
homeless
Steve.
shelter. So I'm thinking, okay, somebody. You don't get 6 police cars. I've never seen 6 police cars ever.
So
I'm
are you saying
thinking-
that after? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm thinking somebody got murdered. Is what I'm thinking to get that many cops
That's
out, right?
possible. That's possible. Yeah.
And it thing is, you get homeless people and drug addicts in your neighborhood, and your whole neighborhood, you might as well just leave because you might as well flush your neighborhood down the toilet because I've experienced that a couple times. Anyway, thank God they basically demolished that whole block like about 6 months later, and now it's like a condominium where you got to pay like $300,000 to move in, right?
Wow. Yeah.
But that's a good thing because there's no assholes killing each other there anymore, right?
right, and nobody standing out there and
Oh,
suffering.
I remember the year we had the homeless shelter there, and I would get in my car after work, and I just want to go and buy a loaf of bread, and I didn't see anybody, and within 30 seconds there'd be some insanely drugged up panhandler running up to me going, "Oh, hey, man. You know what they want." I'm saying, "Dude, I don't carry cash." And then they leave you alone, right? But
Sure.
it was getting very sketchy. I was at the point where I wouldn't even go there after a while at night, right? It was that bad. But
Okay.
that's all gone now. So
Yeah. So I wanted to ask real quick before we start wrapping things up here. Gorilla, have you, I mean, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but have you had issues with homeless in your area where you live there in Minnesota?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Guerrero's
good.
got like 80 people in his town. So
Yeah, but more than half probably work for him because he's a quality control man.
oh, that could be true.
Hey, I wouldn't doubt it. He's a good man.
I can believe Girl is a quality control kind of guy because he generally keeps his streams like very high quality, right? So yeah. Very good.
Well, I can believe that he's a quality control
By
dude.
the way, Girl, that's
I'd
kissing
work under him.
That's kissing your furry ass if you didn't notice it.
Well, and I just said if I was working and I was in his area, I'd say, yeah, I love working for this guy. Gorilla's cool. We shoot the shit. We do all sorts of stuff.
I gotta do total respect to any guy that's quality control because if you're quality control, that means you know your shit really well, right?
Well, tell that to the people that work there because I got the most hated job at any factory.
Oh,
yeah, but at least, are there any people that respect your job? You said hated, but there has to be a few people that respect you.
Yeah, you know how many times I get told to fuck off a day?
Oh, God.
Tell me.
I get told to fuck off quite a bit when I send their ass back.
So you mean counting on all your ape hands and your feet, you get told to F off every day. That's exactly right, isn't it? That's how many times? Oh man. I don't, you know what? I don't envy your job then, Gorilla. I don't.
Yeah.
I know you do a great job, but these people that are such haters, I mean, tell them, look, go in my position. Tell them one day, just tell them that. To say, look, go into my position. I'll let you run things for a day and let's see how well you do it. And if you do it better than me, I'll just step the fuck down and I'll go do what I have to do. But if you're so good at what you do and you say you can do it better than me, try it for a day. Yeah, just give them a day and see what they say or see what they do. I bet they can't do the job that you do. Absolutely not. And welcome, Anchorman. Hello, Scott. Hi. Hey, Scott,
there.
how's it going? Yeah,
Hey,
we're
guys.
just about to finish. We're just about to finish here, Scott. But I appreciate you coming in, brother. Scott usually helps me out. Yeah, Scott usually helps me out with our fan films that we do for Star Trek and Star Wars. By the way, I wanted to mention this to you guys. Troy Pacelli has asked me politely, me and 3 other gentlemen, to join him on his last call this coming late Friday night. We're going to be talking about Star Trek, Star Wars fan films, Marvel fan films, DC fan films that are out there on YouTube. And we're going to see how well appreciated these young producers and artists and writers are to create these fan films. And we're going to be talking about how is the way that we can get these young writers and creators to come out there and create the better versions of the franchises, which right now either are dead in the water, or they're on life support. And so we're going to talk about that. That's coming up this Friday night. So, and by the way, Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf is appearing on Netter's Network's Thursday Thing. So make sure we all come out there for Charlotte with her interview with Netter and with Troy Pacelli. That would be a lot of fun to see. That's this Thursday.
Mikey just dropped the links on Facebook if you would like.
Well, I mean, they haven't printed it up yet. I was just told.
No, but when you get the links, drop them in.
I will definitely.
My Swiss cheese brain will forget it totally.
Scott's saying, what's going on in this stream? Not really much, Scott. We were talking about Happy Queen Victoria Day. This is Canada's equivalent of Memorial Day, which they celebrate a week from today on the 26th, where they, mention a memorial to all of the men and women of the armed forces, either deceased or still alive or fighting or retired. And let's see. Thank you, babe. And tea, everyone. And Anchorman says, I'm interviewing Organized Chaos on my channel next week. Awesome. Yeah. Send me the link for that, and I will. I'll check it out. I'll send it to our friends if you want me to. So yeah, thank you, Scott. As I said, I put my fan films for now on hiatus, but I hope to go back. And the next time we go back, it's going to be a Star Wars fan film this time. But I got to find a. But I'm thinking actually instead of Star Wars, I was thinking of actually going with Star Trek New Voyages, and I was going to start showing 2 episodes, if possible, through the use of Sip Dance helping me with the Cosby.
I gotta hop in here.
Yeah.
I watched. I'm a big fan of Bunny Tails channel, right?
Yeah, Bunny Kill. Uh-huh.
She does really good. Well, she started with the original series. She did the original series. She did all the animated series, and then she did an episode of New Voyages. She said, I'm not going to do all of them because not many people have requested this. But she did the first one with George Takei, right?
Yes.
And I watched her review, and it's really good. And Bunny's she does great reviews. Like, she's really smart, really, really intelligent. She does great analysis. Like, she'll do like 15 or 20 minutes after the episode ends and talk about it, right? Like, she's fabulous, and she's gorgeous. She's like
I've seen her channel. I've seen her channel.
I've been on her live streams when she does her live streams. Like, she'll do it once in a while. And she said, "Oh, I'm 39." And I'm like, "Bunny can't be 39. She looks like she's 25, right?" Anyway, she's gorgeous.
Well, anyway,
she's funny, and I was just gonna say, she did the first episode of what was it? The New Voyages, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? I liked it when I watched her review, but you know what really bugged me?
Yeah.
The guy playing Spock had terrible ears.
Yeah.
The ears are really bad, and that really kind of took me out of it.
Yeah.
I haven't actually ever watched an episode, but I was like really turned out because I gotta say, Continues Spock has way, way better ears.
All right. Gorilla and PvP, go ahead and run the show for just about a minute or so. I will be right back. Personal business, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, I know what you mean.
No, I don't know what you mean. You want to tell us?
Well, hey, Gorilla, what do you want to talk about? Hey, I gotta ask you a question. What time are you doing your cigar thing tomorrow night?
Same time I do it every Tuesday.
Okay, because I'm probably working 9 to 6 Pacific, so I should be good to go then.
Yeah.
Oh man, so how's your day been?
That's just one of those fucking days.
Yeah, I get the feeling. I know what you're saying.
I hate 199Xs.
So you're looking forward to your lady friend moving in 6 weeks?
Yes. Well, she's not moving in, but she's moving up the area.
Oh, so you're gonna keep separate abodes, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's probably wise, because if I had a lady friend, I kind of want to keep my apartment and her apartment, and I've been burned too many times to go like, yeah, let's just move in together and like cohabitate. It's like, no. And you've been there a few times yourself. what I know about you, which is not a hell of a lot, but still. And now you're gone silent because I said something.
Tired.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I gotta go. I hope this Mikey ends the stream in the next 10 minutes because I gotta go put supper in the oven still. I am getting fucking tired too. And I gotta work early tomorrow morning, which even sucks worse. So you're doing the cigar lounge at the usual time. Then you're doing night court on Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
And then we're doing the quilting episode or whatever of Walton's on Friday. I think I got it mapped out.
What's this be right back thing on his damn
It just says be right back.
It's one of the media overlays. So when I kind of have to go away for something, I put "be right back." So that way people realize, oh, he'll be right back. He just had to step away for a minute or something. You know, that's why I do it. Just be right back. It's on your thing too, Gorilla. You know, it's on your overlays there in your StreamYard when you use it. So.
Well,
When you have to step away, you know, it's the best way to do it is just
when I step away, I just said, sorry, got to have a bladder break, and everybody knows what bladder.
I call it personal man business.
You know, I mean,
I don't like to say bladder. I don't know. I think, I mean,
well, it's better than I got to take a piss, isn't it? Like, you know,
right. It's a bladder emergency.
Well, I mean, you know, let's face it. Who wants to piss themselves? I know I don't.
No, definitely not. But hey, guys, thank you for holding down the fort while I was gone. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. First of all, I want to say we had 14 people visit us here tonight. Nice. So first of all, there I am, and Sci-Fi Sif Dan, and we had Daniel's Hot Topics drop by, Jeff B, we had Roger Blair, we had Sir Lemon Pie. Thank you, Sir Lemon. Of course, we have Gorilla here on our panel. Thank you, Gorilla, for appearing on the panel tonight. Thank you, PvP, for appearing on the panel as well. Brad Wolf, thank you for coming. Tim, FKHC 2005, Accounting Sheep, thank you. And Gorilla's wonderful girlfriend, Kayla Farley. Thank you, Kayla, for being here. Appreciate that. Also, Chilo, thank you, Chilo, for being here. And Anchorman, Scott, thanks for being here as well. Alrighty. So, 13 people that visited today. That is so cool. All right, Gorilla. You're up first, my brother. Tell us what you got going on.
Well, let's see. Cigar launch tomorrow night. Then on Thursday will be a night court. The Waltons episode we're reviewing on Friday is the quilting. Then nothing Saturday because I think I got some birthday parties. And then on Sunday there'll be Terminator Dark Fate. That I got a very special surprise for everybody on next Sunday. A very special surprise.
Yeah. Now your cigar lounge. I do pass along when you have a cigar lounge and when you have the night court, right? You're doing on Thursday. Do you usually do it around the same time, 8:00 Central PM, which would be 9:00 my time?
No, 9:00 my time tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So 10:00 my time. Okay. So I will make sure I mention it tomorrow on my TOS review. Cool. All right. So I'll definitely mention it this week. Also, as like I said, on Friday, after I do Gorilla's Walton stream, I will be on Last Call with Troy Picelli. I believe that's at 12:00 a.m. in the evening, my time, around 11:00 your time, Gorilla Central. So if you want to check out Troy Picelli, Last Call afterwards, and I'll be on the panel with him and the rest of the games we talk about fan films. So that'll be a lot of fun. Thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate you doing that.
Get
All
going. We'll
right,
see you.
PvP.
Thank
What?
you.
I'm sorry.
I better get going. We'll see you.
Good
All
night,
right,
Gorilla.
Gorilla. Take care of
No,
yourself.
good-
We'll see you tomorrow night. And
Have a good one.
good night, brother. Okay, we're down to 2.
Well, I did mention a couple times probably that I put the Fingerprints albums up, the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
Have you-
Is that the only thing as far as on your playlist, or is there anything else you're planning for?
That's the only
I know you
new
did the
stuff.
Klenberg. I know you did the Klenberg, who was the former drummer of Blondie. I know he passed away. You did put some music up there as well, right on your.
I think I
playlist.
did. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot though because I'm kind of preoccupied with real life stuff. So nothing much to add really, Mikey. So
Can I ask you something personally, my friend? Did you get anything done this weekend? With the
not as much.
extended weekend?
Yeah, not as much. It's kind of sad. I'm really bad at this. Like I didn't get a lot done. I gotta say. It's really
Well,
sad.
you're addicted, right? To
I spend way too much time on YouTube. I gotta be honest.
but you love hanging out with us. I know, and we love hanging out with you, dude.
Yeah, this is why I need a girlfriend.
There you go.
I need a girlfriend that will cook and clean and do those other things that girlfriends do, but
Yeah.
I don't have one, so
Well, we'll pray for you that you get one, PvP.
I don't spend enough time. Well, I don't think I'm that attractive enough to actually bother looking, but
I'll never say that. I'm definitely not very attractive. but
I
this
should
beautiful lady
should
found me, so
I should post something on what was it? Plenty of Fish, I think is the good free one. So
it's a good one. Yeah, on Facebook, check it out. Sure, that's what you would do. Plenty of Fish,
yeah,
check it out.
I've
See
been
what
thinking of
happens.
that. I
Hey,
should.
give it a shot, right? Give it one shot. See if it does anything. If it's too difficult to work with or anything, then just say no way and then just turn it off. And yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I should do that. I'm so disorganized, but yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
All right. As for me, as you know, tomorrow I'll be discussing our next TOS episode on lunchtime with Mikey and this guy, Murdoch, too, at 12 noon. Hi. At 12 noon tomorrow, we'll do our 1 episode. Then on Wednesday, of course, we have our 2 episode review of Get Smart. We're still on season 1 of that. And then, of course, on Thursday, we have a very special 2-parter that we're talking about for A-Team. It is the beginning of season 4. It's the first 2 episodes in that season, and that season 4 is one of the best seasons, in my honest opinion, that I got to see from all 5 seasons of A-Team. So make sure all of you folks are there for me, especially on Thursday. As I said, I also do Cigar Lounge with Gorilla. We do the 4 episodes of Night Court on Thursday. We do the Waltons on Friday. This weekend, there won't be any Charlotte Nightstar because I know she does things every 2 weeks. So I know she's not doing anything this weekend. But I do know Sivdan has his show at 2 o'clock to 4. And PvP, you and I will have to talk about the next episode we want to have him watch so we can get him become closer to being a Trekkie.
Oh yeah, still I hadn't thought about that, but I'll think about that later in the week. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me know. Well, it's weird. Somebody requested I was doing my my show for Red Dwarf earlier, and it was Booger 414 said Spock's brain, and I said, no.
No, we want to convince Dan to be a Trekkie, not hate.
Not
him.
hate us.
The only thing, well, I don't. Spock's brain is not the worst.
No, it's not the worst.
If you want,
I think the hippies one is the worst. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give him a list of the 5 worst right now. The alternative factor from season 1.
Yeah.
That is the one season 1 episode that stinks up the place, right?
Yes.
The only thing about what I love about alternative factor, well, there was supposed to be another actor, and he bailed like a day before they filmed the episode.
Right.
So they had to get the poor bastard that ended up playing Lazarus You know, like, can you imagine? It's like, oh, you get the script 24 hours before it, and you got to like assume the character. Shit, I couldn't do that. I thought he tried, but horrible episode.
That was the time ship that Lazarus had.
That
Turned
well,
him evil,
yeah.
turned him good, and yeah.
Yeah, the weird thing was the time ship looked like something out of like 1955, right? It
Yeah,
didn't like
it
it
did.
didn't look mid 60s. And the only thing I like about that episode is when Lazarus falls off the cliff a couple of times.
Right.
That was funny. I laughed. He's like, oh, and he should
Yeah.
have been killed a couple of, but he doesn't, of course.
Yeah. So tell us
Horrible
quickly.
episode.
So that was number 5. What's number 4 for you as the worst?
I'll probably put the hippie episode. That's pretty bad. It's like Herbert, and then when Spock is playing the music with the hippies,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything like, and what does Spock say? It's like he didn't say I dig you, but he said something crazy like that, right? Like
He said something, I cherish your, or I embrace your, something like that. His
He
human
said something-
side was,
he said something very unspock like.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's pretty bad. And
So, that was number 3, and then what was number 2 for you?
well, let's see. Well, it's hard. I'm kind of forgetting here. There's probably I'm kind of forgetting some of them. There's some season 3 that are definitely up there.
I think Turnabout Intruder is a pretty bad one.
I the thing is, okay, I'll go with that. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people think it is, because I used to hate that episode. Like when I was young, first time when I saw
And now
it,
you're older and you're trying to find an appreciation for it. So
Well,
I get it.
when I saw it in the 70s, Mikey, I thought it was a total piece of crap, right? I really did.
Sure.
But since I rewatched it, 3, 4, 5 times since then, because I rewatch all Star Trek episodes.
But I do think Spock's brain is the worst. I do. I do.
I probably should have put that one in the place. I don't think Turnabout Intruder is that bad. I mean, because people always go, oh, Shatner, oh, Shatner, look at Shatner. This is the Shatner haters. There's that meme of him in the chair with his arms stretched out, right? You know the meme.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
The thing is, I think because Shatner is not playing Kirk, he's playing Janice Lester, the
he's
mentally ill woman.
playing right. He's playing. It's funny when you see Janice Lester, when you see her, and you know that Kirk is inside her. That is like,
we're talking mentally, right? Not physically.
Mentally masculinity overload, right? But when you see Kirk, and Janice is inside Kirk, and you see that femininity, he's trying to embrace his feminine side, and I'm like, Shatner, do you really have a feminine side? I don't think you do, but hey, it be you if you want to, think that you can act like a girl and, for 45 minutes or however long the episode is for,
What I really give Shatner, I give Shatner a lot of credit for that episode, even though I know it's hated. But you think about it. Shatner is inhabited by the mind of Janice Lester. Janice Lester is a very jealous, mentally ill woman that hates him.
Yes.
She's taken over his brain, and she wants command of the Enterprise. And for most of it, at the start, it's almost convincing. But then eventually he starts to lose it, right? There's a whole part where he wants to what is it? He wants to execute Spock or something at a certain point. Janice Lester in Kirk starts to lose her mind. Well, she's crazy, but
Sure.
And
Well, it doesn't help that her assistant. Well, it doesn't help that her
Oh,
assistant,
her
who
assistant.
got her that way in the first place,
Her
then he
assistant.
has the second thoughts, and is
Well,
Yeah.
I think her assistant. Well, I think he's totally secondary to the storyline, but
probably is.
he is
Sure
a
is.
total he is a total asshole. I will agree with that.
Yeah,
Right?
he is. Yeah.
No,
Well,
but
you
he's
know
not.
which episode I'm reviewing tomorrow? I want to tell you this.
Oh,
The one
God.
I'm reviewing tomorrow is Return of the Archons.
That's a good one.
Yeah, is that the one with Landrew, right?
Andrew.
Yeah, and he deactivates the first computer on the series. Yeah, there you go.
That's probably the first Kirk killing a computer episode, isn't it?
Yeah, he says, "Let's pull out the plug, Mr. Spock."
And you know what I love about that episode? Every Kirk episode where he kills a computer just by talking to it.
Well,
I'm like-
M5. He kills M5 effectively.
Oh yeah, it's great. I always loved how Kirk. This is my Kirk will always be my favorite captain because I don't.
Exactly.
Did Cisco ever kill a computer by talking to it? No. Did Janeway ever kill a computer? No.
Yeah.
Kirk is the man. Kirk is the man.
Kirk is the man. And
Anyway,
he did the same thing with the yeah.
I should just
So-
finish up my thoughts. What episode was I on now?
We were just talking about Turnabout Intruder.
I don't think that's as bad as I used to hate it, but I think that's like a middle. If I had to give that a rating, I'd give it like a C.
Yeah. You know, one other one I was just thinking of for your top 5, I was thinking Cat Spa.
Excuse me, I'm having a coughing fit.
Oh, that's all right. Go ahead. Well, we're about ready to wrap it all up here. So again, I want to thank everyone I mentioned for being here and appearing. I want to thank Gorilla's Censored Thoughts, our brother from Minnesota, for being here. I want to thank my brother here, PvP from British Columbia, for helping me celebrate Happy Queen Victoria Day, even though I'm still a transplant from America and Arizona and California. But I am living in Toronto with a beautiful wife of Suzanne here and my 2 baby cats, Smooth Pie and Deja Vu. So I'm happy about that.
I think I was down to number 1. I think it was.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Spock's Brain. The thing is, I don't mind Spock's Brain. It's goofy, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
My number 1 worst hated episode is "And the Children Shall Lead."
Oh, with Melvin Belli, who's the Gorgon and does all. Yeah. Okay.
Horrible.
I can see why. I can totally see why.
Melvin Belli can't act he couldn't act out of a paper bag. He said the kids are absolutely fucking obnoxious. Like, I would send them all to an orphanage right now. Like, get the fuck off of my ship, you little.
However, that being said, the lady who did Lucy's voice in Charlie Brown, Pamela Ferdin, she was pretty hot looking back then when I was a little kid. So
I hate that episode. I hate that's the one.
She's the only one I really respected. Otherwise, everybody else was like, "Blah."
You know, I could probably watch Turnabout Intruder and Spock's Brain 100 times, and I can get. Well, you know what I like about Turnabout. I mean, those scenes where Scotty and McCoy are talking mutiny in the hallway. Like, is that not fucking great shit? Like, that's good stuff. There's some great scenes. I mean, it might be a crap episode, but it still has some good scenes.
Yeah,
I cannot think of 1 minute of And the Children Shall Lead that is actually worth watching. It is god awful bad.
Yeah, it's like watching paint dry, or it's like watching the dentist drill into a molar.
I'd rather go and get my teeth pulled out than watch that episode again. It's that bad.
There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and say a quick prayer while we can. So, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, dear Lord, thank you for everybody that appeared tonight here on Happy Queen Victoria Day. May all of them, including their families, have a wonderful rest of this week and a wonderful rest of the year. and that there's no tragedy, no problems, no wipeouts, no major disasters, nothing to happen to any of our friends that we know in this community. Also, please pray for Larry and his family. Pray for Jay Aldridge and his partner. Pray for Jason and his partner over in Michigan. Pray for Gorilla that he always will have fun times and will be able to celebrate true love again with his new partner, Kayla. And also, we pray for Suzanne because she still has problems with her shoulder and with both her knees. So let's hope we can get those repaired so she can go back to having more, activity that she can move about more. So with all that, I ask you for this in your name, Lord, and in your Son's name, and in the Blessed Mary Virgin name, and in the Holy Spirit, in her saint, which is Saint Suzanne, and in mine, which is Saint Michael the Archangel. We ask for pray for us in your name, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. So we're done on that. Larry's here. Oh my God. I think we're gonna be here a few more. Larry from Beer Self Adventures. Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
I'm doing well, sir. I just said a prayer for you.
Yeah, Mikey's just gonna wrap this up like I'm.
I was
Yeah.
about to, but since you're here, brother, if you don't
Promenade.
mind, we'll stay a few more minutes,
Yeah, a few minutes. I was on, as you can tell, I was on Fortnite for a while with Raquel and Batman and stuff like that. But
Yes.
of course, I'm not a big Queen, except for music, Queen. So I don't,
Thank you, Lemon.
I don't believe why there should ever be a king and a queen anyway. So they're just very wealthy and make tons of money, and that's
Well,
about
I tell you, I gotta be honest, Larry. I'm not a monarchist either. I wish
that's
I
just-
would be happy if the monarchy was abolished. I really would be.
Well, it's unnecessary. It's just totally
Well,
unnecessary.
it's an antiquated leftover from history, is the way I see it.
Yeah. This country doesn't need a king and a queen. That's
Well,
all
we-
it is. It's just for them.
Well, you know, the crazy thing is we don't even technically have them because the governor general is the representative that represents Charles, and it's like, what the fuck? Why do we even? And the governor general's often an asshole that makes bad decisions anyway. So yeah, I'm not going to get into politics, but
Yeah. No. I just wanted to jump on with you guys because I didn't know how long you've been on or anything else like that.
Well, because you're here now, my brother. We'll be here for as long as you're able to hang out, And,
I can
you're done.
till dinner gets here, which will be here probably pretty shortly anyway.
went on for an hour and a half.
Speaking of dinner, I had a stew tonight, with bread on the side, nice, dark wheat bread, really rye. Actually, it was rye, kind of rye bread. This right here is a Scottish shortbread. This is what is homemade, was made by Suzanne tonight. Scottish short,
There you go.
and it's fat free,
Even better.
so you don't have to worry about my diabetes in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, Larry, were you playing Fortnite earlier?
yeah, I played it for about 3.5 hours. We started out with Matthew, Richard, and myself, and then Raquel jumped in. We played Rumble on Fortnite, which is just devastating, hard to play.
Yeah.
Then we
I
went.
know this is a dumb question, but is Matthew Richards' son?
No,
Oh, who is Matthew then?
Gigi's son.
Oh, Gigi's son. Oh, okay.
So
So
Okay.
I kind of figured you weren't doing Avengers tonight, right?
yeah, no, I said I had my bank was compromised and everything else.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
no. How'd that happen, Larry?
I have no idea. If I knew, I think what happened is my wife went to the gas station and there was probably a skimmer on there or somebody,
Oh
thought-
no!
Oh yeah. So
Oh my
they
god!
charged $150.50 in gas.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That's
Yeah.
horrible.
It's just a thing that they do. They
Can
could
you
do it for 20 cents.
can you contact your bank? Like
I did.
immediately?
Oh, I
Good.
did. I
Good.
did.
That's messed up, Larry. That's really messed up.
Yeah,
What part of town was that in? If you
it's here,
mind saying?
here in Phoenix, here in Anthem.
Right in Amblin. Wow.
No, by the way, I
Yeah.
just want to quickly tell Larry I tried to update my Fortnite password last night, so I might be able to be on again, but I haven't tested it yet, so I might still be screwed up because something really screwed up on Fortnite a couple years ago and I couldn't get on. But if I can get on, I'll let you know, and maybe I'll try. If you want to have me on a squad in the next couple weeks, I will join in.
Yeah, if you can try to get it set up.
Yeah. I was playing for a couple of years. Well, I had this beautiful British lass that we would hang out and every weekend play for hours, and she was fabulous. And then we kind of drifted apart, and then I kind of lost interest. I haven't been on for a couple of years, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I really enjoy the game. So if
Oh,
I
yeah.
can get the link to work, I'll let you know. Oh, by the way, Larry, since I'm talking to you, I've been looking out, trying to find. Remember when you sent me a bunch of links for the StreamYard thing like a
Yeah.
couple of months ago?
Yeah.
I can't find the damn folder they're in. Can you resend those if it's possible?
Yeah, I'll look them up.
If you could resend those sometime this week, I would so much appreciate it because I really do want to get up and running, and I just can't find them. I don't know where the hell they are.
Yeah, I'll look them up.
Thank you, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I also printed up the referral link. So, like I said, PvP, if you're new to StreamYard and you apply for it to the next level, if you go to that next level, just mention the $10 discount and they'll apply it to your first bill, to the bill that you do if you move it up to the the pay level where you have up to 10 people in your
I
stream.
remember that. I just got to step away for I got to put some supper in the oven because it's getting later. I'm getting hungry. So
I just wanted to drop by and say hi anyway. So
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Larry. Will you join us tomorrow for Gorilla's Cigar Lounge?
yeah, we'll see what's going on, but I will do my best. Yes.
Yeah. So the Cigar Lounge, he mentioned it at 9:00 his time Central. So will that be 7:00 your time or 8:00?
7.
7. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be 10:00 my time. So I'm preparing for that tomorrow. By the way, as I mentioned to PvP, my TOS episode I'm reviewing tomorrow is Return of the Archons with Landru.
Cool.
Let's pull out the plug, Mr. Spock.
I
love that episode.
I will unfortunately be working.
Well, you can watch me on the rewatch. Come on, you can.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right,
So let's see here. First of all, just finishing up here. So Lemon said hello to you, Larry. I mentioned that.
Yeah.
And also, he says, I got to go see you fellers around. Dang, my typos. Yeah, I know, Lemon. And he says, good night, fellers. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Lemon,
Bye.
for being here, for watching over the chat, along with Suzanne, and making sure we didn't have any trolls or any bad people come in here. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for being here. Okay. So as I always like to say, first of all, I want to mention Larry's wonderful where he says, always be yourself. It's a great piece of advice. I always say about Suzanne, she always says, leave everything in God's hands. I believe that's a great piece of advice as well. Also, our meme here is always expect the unexpected. I shortened it. I just left it at that part. And also, the great Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune, who said, and now the aisle is closed. My favorite line from Siskel and Ebert at the movies. So, everybody that's in Canada, hope you enjoyed your Queen Victoria Day today. Everybody in the United States, I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day. We may go ahead and do a Memorial Day stream next week, next Monday. So keep an eye out. Don't forget, Charlotte Night Star is going to appear on Netter's Things, Thursday Things this Thursday night. I'll try to get the time and I'll send that to all of us so we can go support her. And then on Friday night, late night, I'm going to be with Troy Pacelli talking about fan films. And when that's all settled and done, I will send the links to all you guys so you can come watch us on that night after Gorilla's live Walton stream, the quilting. So
Yeah, I do
All right.
have to say about Memorial Day has a lot more, in my opinion, purpose than Queen, Day or what have you, Queen Victoria Day.
yes, sir. And I was going to say, Larry, and I'm glad you're here. I was going to say, if you would like, I would like to run a stream for Memorial Day night. I would love for you to simulcast, and I would also like to have Gorilla simulcast it.
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can do with that. Anyway, as I always say at the very end of all my streams, God bless America. God bless Canada. God bless this wonderful world we live in. We only have one, so make sure you take good care of it. And of course, peace from Mikey Seuss for. So on behalf of myself, my beautiful wife Suzanne, the beautiful cats Moon Pie and Deja Vu, and everybody we had here tonight that appeared in the chat, and of course, all my wonderful brothers here that appeared on the panel. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Watch out. Be safe out there. There's a lot of crazy weather that goes on, so be careful out there too for that. And we'll see you next time tomorrow on lunchtime with Mikey and Murdoch too. Till
Okay.
then,
Yep.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
good night, everybody. Say good night, everybody.
Bye, Mike.
And yeah, thank you. And
Okay.
I'll play the outro.